The MKT Show. It is Monday, the 24th of May. I'm MKT. Welcome to it, sports fans. Welcome to a Monday where now, what do you do with Saturdays and Sundays? It's going to be tough. Unless you're a Man United or a Man City or a Chelsea fan, you have nothing to live for another month and a half. Nothing. Hey, listen, might improve relationships. I'm just saying. Sounds a little sexist, but, there's ladies that like football. You might actually start focusing on your boyfriend now. And for dudes who like football, maybe your relationship will be saved. Who knows? I don't know, but I don't know what I'm going to do because I'm a lonely bachelor. I have no clue what the next month and a half looks like. It's gotten so bad. I made an impulsive call yesterday, got Netflix, have not watched a single thing. I just thought to myself, oh my goodness, I can feel that there's a vacuum in my life. I'm going to have to fix that. Let me just get Netflix. Am I going to get Amazon Prime? You better believe I am. That will happen this week at some stage. That's how vital it's getting. This week, to start off, I'm not alone. I'm joined by a man who looks like Alex Iwobi. Won't pitch up at his own mother's lunch for Mother's Day.
It's been a month.
Screw that. Get that the hell out of here.
That's tough stuff.
9 months in your tummy, rent-free. I don't care.
That's tough to take.
I just do not care. That's what he'll say to you. A man who might be happy with Man United's finish, might not be. I don't know. We'll hear from him. But very much looks like Alex Iwobi. Karabo Pelwane, how are you, my good man?
Hi. I'm okay, I suppose.
Yeah?
Can we not use that surname?
K-Doc.
Just call me Karabo. Karabo's
I was about to say, can we just use Karabo?
Yeah.
Why are you telling me what I can say? I feel like you guys are infringing on my safe space.
Well, it's his name.
You're infringing on my safe space.
Yeah, but it's his name.
I'm just expressing myself.
You're infringing on his birthrights.
Yeah, that's my surname only to the government, really.
Oh, he doesn't want to. Okay, listen. You guys are sort of infringing on my safe space right now. And from your generation,
please,
I think you guys know that actually you need to let me express myself. Because I identify as insensitive. So why can't I identify as that now? Wow. A little bit of toxic masculinity from the other side of the table. It's going to happen though. Under 25 and toxic, it's a real thing nowadays. Karabo, good weekend, bad weekend, medium weekend. I mean, you can use the full spectrum.
Terrible weekend.
Terrible
weekend.
What's the story?
I was with the dog, so that was cool.
Okay, is that your uncle's dog?
Saved my weekend at least. He was good. But other than that, terrible weekend, really.
Just in general?
Yeah, just in general.
But yeah, I mean, it's pretty monotonous, isn't it? Sun goes up and comes back the next day.
Yeah.
I think you've kind of seen it all now, huh?
Basically.
Oh, what's left?
Yeah.
What is left? Sitting next to him, a man with the best beard. Certainly at this table. I mean, I don't want to get crazy with it. A man who has a girlfriend, apparently. A man with a mother who has spent so much time putting stuff into his life, sent him to a great school, toiled, kept working on him. Still the third favorite son, but she made him feel loved, and he thinks he's the favorite son. He went to AFTA, which was a waste of 3 years.
And a lot of money.
It's not my money. Listen, I'm not going to pocket watch. James Jimbo Erlingsley, how you doing, pal? How's your weekend?
My weekend was phenomenal. Verstappen won, Liverpool won. Liverpool have Champions League. Also, AFTA clearly wasn't a waste of money.
Yeah.
Because some people are enjoying my comedic talents.
All right.
On our show. We had a comment this weekend on
Wait. It's a little...
What does that have to do with AFTA?
It's a bit of speculation.
I'm about to tell you.
It's a bit of speculation.
Well...
Oh, is there evidence?
Yes, there is evidence.
Okay.
So we got a comment on our YouTube video for Friday's show.
All right, I like that.
From Tabo Pali.
Told you this before, James. You've made a huge mistake there, just like you did with Afrikaans names. Insulted a whole country, really. One of the greatest kings, Moshweshwe, of all time. That L, but it's tricky. It is tricky. You know what I mean?
So how is it set?
That L, so for those of you who ever go to Lesotho, and you may see a place, and I've heard South Africans say this, and I only know this because I work there, and I made this mistake. So you're welcome in advance. An L in Sotho, which is Southern Sotho, is actually a D. So what you're seeing there is Padi. Yeah. So it's not Maliba Lodge, it's Madiba Lodge if you're in Lesotho. So shout out to educating each other. Yeah, I'm saying, James.
So
we got a good vibe.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
So it would be Tabo Padi. right?
Nailed it.
There you
Nailed
go.
it, Jimbo. Nailed it.
He said, Guns N' Roses, LMAO.
Mhm.
James, you should be a comedy playwright. After wasn't a waste of time after all.
Hey, fair enough. And listen, he's for real. He's been listening to the show since the beginning, so he's one of our OGs. So shout out. That is empirical evidence.
There you go.
That AFTA was not a waste of money.
There you go.
There's nothing I can do to deny that somebody said that on the most trusted thing on this planet,
Exactly.
the internet.
Exactly.
No, fair enough, James. I'm happy to be wrong, dude.
That came through in my emails yesterday, and I was so busy yesterday with work things that it actually made my day.
Wow, working on Sundays, James. How getting into it? Big production.
Working Saturdays and Sundays. Friday nights even.
Oh wow, getting into it, dude.
I got some stuff.
Hey, you're a young guy. You're a hipster vibe. You got a hipster vibe. I mean, you're not full garabo, but you got a hipster vibe about you.
Sure.
What about my favorite one, guys? I just want to say, my favorite one from the young folks, because I'm old now. I'm happy to say it. What about work-life balance, James? What about work-life?
I was about to say.
You can't work your whole life. Well, what about the douche? That, by the way, the most douchebaggy young people thing to ever say. There's no such thing as work-life balance. Get over it right now. If you want to go and work properly, just shut the hell up and work. But I'll let you all stay in woke corner on the internet and tell me about work-life balance. But tell me about what your work-life balance there, James.
I'm not heavily into work-life balance. Like, I feel like I need maybe a day out of the week to not work. So like on Saturday, I went to a birthday.
Okay, whose
and
birthday was it?
It was a family friend's son.
A young person?
Yeah,
Like-
it was a 2-year-old birthday.
see, those birthdays are never actually about the kid.
No.
It's all for adults.
But it was nice.
They get there, they get boozy.
But that's the thing. So on Saturday, I didn't work during the day.
Got you.
I went there, had 1 or 2 beers, had lunch. Like, it was nice to be out of the house.
Yes.
And then by like Saturday night / Sunday, I was ready to like jump back into work
In
again.
the game.
Yeah.
Where was it? Someone's house, or was it one of those annoying, like, people as well are just the most inconsiderate animals on this planet. Is they'll have stuff where it's like an hour drive. Yeah, like it's my birthday now as well. You know what I mean?
It was about a 20-minute drive at their house.
No,
which
that's all right. Then
I'm
it's
okay with
nice.
that.
Do they provide booze, or you have to bring your own?
They said I had to bring my own. No. They said I didn't have to bring anything, but I brought my own.
Is
So
it?
That's what I meant.
You know what I've never understood about people that host and say bring your own? If you can't afford to host a party, don't host it. No, that's my approach.
Don't tell people to bring their
No.
own.
I don't believe in bring your own. Like, I was raised in my community, and especially my mother, the Betty community, is you never invite people and make them bring food. Like,
Yeah.
If you can't afford to have a party, don't have one. Well, why are you having a party? I've never understood that. So guess what? Bring your own booze or bring your own whatever. Do you know what I'm doing moving forward? I'm not coming. Don't even invite me. So if you can't afford to have a party, don't have it. Don't want to go to crap parties.
What if it's like the most lavish party where it's an opportunity to network?
Or just
with
don't
lots of
drink.
I
incredible
go
people?
to lavish. I don't drink, but I go to lavish parties all the time, James.
Sorry.
There is definitely no. That is a poor guy thing. That is a poor lady thing. That is a cheapskate thing. And you don't even need to be poor. You need to be a cheapskate to make your guests bring stuff. That's what I'm saying. But we're not all the same. Again, I'm just telling you how I view it. So shout out to those people. But nice party, nice music,
Yeah, good stuff.
nice kids. Like too tough. Did everyone bring their baby?
No. The youngest person there was the child, and he was the only person below, I think, the age of like maybe 16 or 17.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice. And no one like no like drunk uncle vibes.
It was
that's
all good.
nice.
There was music, there was cake, we had
Good
a
food.
braai. Good stuff.
That's all. Hey, good day out. Saturday, good weather as well. A little nippy in the
Oh,
air, but
Saturday was nice.
the sun came out, huh?
Yeah, it started getting cold around like 4, 5-ish. Eventually, I just went home and I put on my hermit clothes.
So your lady wasn't there. She was like, screw that. I'm not driving an hour for a baby I've never even met.
No, but we are going to the same people's house on Friday this week.
For the baby, or?
No, for dinner.
Okay. So it's just, okay.
Yeah.
Do they know your lady? I mean, you just
Yeah.
bring her along. No, that's good. That sounds like a good weekend, dude.
Good
sounds
stuff,
like a good
huh?
weekend. Karabo, this is what people are doing, dude. People are having babies. People invite you over. Bring your own stuff. Don't invite me because I'm not bringing anything.
Well, they didn't. They said don't bring anything. They just said bring yourself. But
Oh.
me being the person I am brought my own stuff.
Oh, so you didn't want to impose on
yeah,
them.
yeah.
It's weird to me, dude. I'll never invite you to my house anyway, James. Don't worry.
I think it's like different, like cultures almost, or different upbringings.
I don't know if it's that because I grew up in the northern suburbs and it's been bring your own stuff the whole time. I've never understood it. So I don't even think it's like a black-white culture divide. I just think it's a personal thing. Like I think we're all sort of in the northern suburbs here. I can't speak for anywhere else. I didn't grow up anywhere else. But I can tell you, like in my European friends, you don't bring stuff. Like if we're having a party, and I grew up largely as a youngster in Finland and in Germany, when people are having a party there, what? Me bringing my own stuff? It's not even a thought.
So interesting.
No, it's not even a thought. Like, don't even think about it. Just if I'm inviting you, we've got stuff. Well, why would I make you bring your own stuff? It makes no sense. But again, we live in a different world. And shout out to you having a great day, James. I'm happy about that.
It was a good day.
Karabo, sorry for you. Sorry for you. You just had the sun again came up in the east.
C'est la vie.
C'est la vie. C'est la vie. Indeed. Such is life, James.
My friends started saying that a lot also.
What's that? Oh,
C'est la vie.
are they dating a French girl?
Well, she is a girl.
Oh.
She's not dating a French girl.
Oh, so she's 50% of that statement.
It's just the weirdest thing to me how she started saying it like a couple of weeks ago. And I've heard it quite a lot since she started saying it from like various different people. C'est la vie.
C'est la vie. It's going to happen. Is she dating somebody who would say that? I mean, where's it come from? C'est la vie is quite a...
She is dating someone, but I know the guy quite well. I don't think he would say that.
Maybe she just heard it on a show.
Yeah, it's become like a thing.
People do that, though. Now she's going to be saying c'est la vie for 3 months. It's very annoying.
Doesn't bug me.
Oh, it's all right.
Bigger problems in the world. Remember, I'm that guy. I'm the guy with bigger problems in the world.
You're actually not, though, because I've spent time with you and I've heard some of the things you complain about. So you're a bit of a hypocrite.
What do I complain
But on here,
about?
you're a good person. Just lots of like finicky little things. And I hear you panicking a lot, And I'm like, James, there's bigger things in the world in my mind. I thought was your modus operandi, but actually you're a liar.
Yeah, but when I get panicky about show things,
Yeah.
or like pre-show things,
Yeah.
it's because I want everything to work smoothly.
No, it's true. So you do care about what you're doing. That's
Exactly.
That's a very good trait.
Passionate.
Passions. Yeah. No, yeah. You are. You are. That I can't lie about. You're a good dude. You're passionate. Are you anything else? Anything while we're at it?
I'm James.
Karabo, are you any features? James has described himself as passionate.
No,
not really.
you're wrong. I describe myself as passionate and James.
Passionate and James.
Yes.
A little greedy there.
Oh,
He's
are
gone-
you asking me to describe myself?
No, just, personal features. People will listen to this and they're probably wondering, hey, is that Alex Iwobi? I wonder what he's like.
I don't know my personal features. I don't know.
You
I
don't?
wouldn't define it. I don't know.
Alive. How about that?
Barely. Yeah.
Oxygen inhaling.
Yeah, there we go.
There you go.
That's
Yeah.
the job.
Alex Iwobi just
Nailed
cares
it.
about football. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Playing for Nigeria and playing, at Everton. Got whipped 5-0. Tough weekend. Maybe that makes sense.
They did get
Alex
hurt,
Iwobi had a bad weekend because they took 5 yesterday.
They did.
Oh, they're terrible.
And then Pep started crying after the game. And
He's a crier, though. He will cry.
I did see his video and it did give me goosebumps. I watched it last night.
He's very much a crier, though.
Yeah,
But listen, he cares when people care.
very much, yeah.
And only as I'm getting older, because if you're 20, you've never really cared about anything. And I know you think you have,
Yeah.
but you've never really had time to actually fall in love with something because you've been 15 your whole life. Like at 15, 10, you're not sure.
Yeah.
You're just grasping. You want to fit in with your friends. But when
Okay.
you like Pep, he puts his soul into what he does.
Absolutely.
Klopp, you look at when he left Dortmund. I mean, if you go and watch that video, is these guys who put their souls into it. Mourinho, when he left Inter Milan, famous videos of him walking down the street as he walks past his players. When you put your soul into stuff, and I'm getting older, and I start to realize now, I always used to be like, look at that moron crying over there. What a soft-ass little child. And then you get into it, and now there's stuff that I've built and I really care about, and I've put 5 years into it, And when one thing works out, I don't think I've ever cried about anything, but I do get emotional about it in my alone time when I'm like, oh my goodness, I can't believe that worked out, or so. So shout out to Pep, dude. He cares, bro. It is a great thing to see people that care.
Very, very invested. And I think over the last couple of years, he hasn't actually just been a football manager at Manchester City. Like, for a lot of the young players, he's been almost like this, like father figure in like growing them and nurturing them and
For sure.
turning them into these incredible footballers. And I think, you know, when one of your star players leaves and probably a player you have a pretty good bond with, like Sergio Aguero, I think, you know, if the tears start coming out, then they start coming out.
And also, you know, Pep's just a conscientious person. I mean, if you remember you may or may not have seen it a couple of years ago, and Catalonia continues to be doing their thing. But I mean, he's heavily involved in that. You know, there was the famous thing where they had to ban it now. They'd wear the yellow ribbon. He's heavily involved. I mean, to a point where they were checking the president of Catalonia, his plane, every time he came in. The Spanish authorities were checking to see if Pep is in there. And doing vice versa. For Pep's plane, they were checking for the Catalan president. So he carries a lot on his shoulders because Catalonia, just as, I mean, if you look at Basque Country, they carry themselves as a separate identity from Spain completely. Like, we don't get it unless you've been there, and they are repulsed. I mean, I remember walking in the streets of Bilbao and Barcelona with a Real Madrid shirt on. The hate, you know, like here you go with a Kaizer Chiefs shirt in Pretoria, you know, little, like nobody even says anything. But there, it's so much deeper unless you actually understand. And at the time, I didn't. And Pep actually has the weight of Catalonia on his shoulders. He is Catalonia worldwide, just as Mourinho had Portugal on his shoulders when he went to Chelsea. You know, you sometimes forget what the weight some guys are carrying. So when he wins a City title, it's years of not only Spanish managers are never going to do it outside of Spain, it's Catalans are not the Spanish guys and they can't do it out of Spain. And now he's gone to Germany and now he's in England where he was never, so you know, everyone said he wouldn't be able to do it. Shout out Pep Guardiola, shout out Man City, you know. Yeah, I'm saying.
Good old Pep, huh?
I love him. I do love him.
He's done some incredible stuff.
He's done some good stuff. Garabo, he is going to keep Man United in the shadows for a while.
I agree.
He is going to do that. Although people think these dynasties last forever, they don't. Pep Guardiola is not going to be there forever. These things burn out. These things do. Wherever he's been, pretty quickly, you got to give it. I'd give it a max next season. I think you might even start seeing problems next season. Just because he's not it's like the Klopp effect this year. Some people, it's not because he's a bad person. Demanding people wear people out. It doesn't matter where they are, right? He's very, very rare. And eventually, that gets hard. That gets super hard. All right, let's get into it. Alex Iwobi, Karabo, good to have you here. James, good beard. Great to hear about your birthday with a little... In fact, before we get into this, I did enjoy something we were talking about just now. And I realized that yesterday, I was flicking through just films and stuff, just catching up on the good old days. But this morning, you guys pointed out something very, very, very true. And I thought about it as you were saying it. We were talking about Spider-Man. And you guys said the third Spider-Man. Yeah. So was there a trilogy of Spider-Man?
Yes.
Because I only ever saw the first one under duress, by the way.
What?
Yeah, I wouldn't. I mean, I'd never watch Spider-Man. Don't be ridiculous.
Oh
Very
my
boring.
God. Oh, no.
Oh
no!
Oh, sorry. Is this Batman again? One of the greatest.
No.
Is this one of the greatest movies ever made? And you can't believe of what I have.
Well, let me be open. I definitely have bias towards Spider-Man as a character.
Okay.
Because like just growing up, I remember the first toy I ever owned was a Spider-Man toy.
Oh, really?
From like 4 onwards, and I don't know. There's just something about Spider-Man as a character that's way better than most comic book characters. I don't know. The fact that you can have this loser, frankly, you know, be Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
No, there are cool narratives.
And Batman's just a rich white dude.
He is a rich white dude. You can't deny that. Weird that he was American and then British and then that got very weird. Just keep it the same guy.
Yep.
Keep it the same guy. Just keep it Bale until the end.
No,
not possible. Like Robert Downey Jr., they didn't change him.
Yeah, but he died.
Oh, Iron Man.
Yeah.
Haven't seen the movies. Don't care.
Yeah.
But he was consistent. Do you know what I mean? Or do I sound crazy? And
No.
he did like 307 films in the end.
Yeah, but Batman has been going since like 1970.
Yep. Michael Keaton played Batman.
Yeah, the best one. By the way, husband to Diane Keaton, another one of my favorites. Anyway, let's not get into it here. We're going to stick modern. Michael Keaton, though. Oh, you just brought up. All time. All time.
Speaking of Michael Keaton, he is in one of the Spider-Man films. and he's very good in them. Remember Spider-Man: Homecoming?
He's
Plays the
good.
Vulture?
He's good in
He is.
everything. He's a magnificent actor. He's
Yeah,
an
no,
all-timer.
but I feel like if you want to watch one of those Spider-Man movies, that's a good one to watch. You can watch it as its own thing, really.
What about him as the head of police on the other guys as well? And he has another job where he's the he's a store manager at a Home Depot. One of my favorite scenes in the history of movies. We'll come back to Spider-Man in a bit. Michael Keaton addressing like the Home Depot people, and he's like, "Yeah, there's a rapist on the loose." And he's like, "Oh no, sorry, that's for my other job. Don't worry about that. We've got a new special coming in." And he goes, "No, but you should still worry about the rapist." Is one of the best scenes. If you haven't seen the other guys, I can't help you on that.
There's also the scene where Dwayne Johnson and it's Samuel L. Jackson, right?
Yes,
They jump off the roof. They get all heroic and they play the rock song.
yes,
And then they jump off the roof and they end up just
yeah, just splattering. I mean, he's and then he keeps having. Don't know if either you guys would know. You might know because your mother loves this trio. But he keeps making TLC references, Michael Keaton, in that as well.
What do you mean?
Don't go chasing waterfalls is one of the things he says. But there's a lot of others. You guys, you got to creep, and he's incredible. So Michael Keaton. But okay, so Spider-Man, your favorite. You love that.
One of my favorite. I don't have a favorite character.
Okay, but that one has a special heart in your place,
Yeah,
or place in your heart.
Yeah.
It has
Okay.
a special heart in your place.
Yep.
Yeah. But now, so tell me this: you were saying earlier in the third one they changed it to another dude because I don't really recognize
Okay,
something yet.
so it's the Tobey Maguire movies, which is 2000 to 2006 or 7
How many did they do with him?
trilogy.
Okay.
And then they took a break, and then Andrew Garfield, which, yes, there are more British people playing Spider-Man than American people playing Spider-Man, which is hilarious to me. And then he got 2 movies. We don't speak about those. And then now we're on Tom Holland, who playing Spider-Man currently.
Stinkers, the ones we don't speak about.
But
There are a few stinkers.
they're different Spider-Man. So
Yeah,
I think
completely different characters.
one of them is the Amazing Spider-Man, and then
Okay,
the
Andrew
other 2
Garfield.
are just normal Spider-Man. So it's different Spider-Men. It's supposed to be like different Spider-Men from different Spider-Verses.
Oh, I see. What? And the amazing one. What's his deal?
What do you mean? What's his deal?
I mean, did
Well,
he open
you
a
have
smoothie
the-
company? Why is he amazing?
No, you have the Amazing Spider-Man, and you have Spider-Man, and you have
It's just a different
There's
title,
like
ultimately.
different Spider-Verses, and there's different Spider-Man and Spider-Woman, and
Did they get bitten by different spiders?
yes, they're in their own universe.
Okay, I don't know. Okay, so Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire, those are very standalone things. The current one is in the greater Marvel franchise. You're aware of those. And yeah, but what's happening now, it's the Doctor Strange movie.
Yeah,
And then the second Spider-Man 3 movie.
yeah.
There's gonna be Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire, Tom Holland together. Because
Okay.
it's what's happening now is like the whole multiverse is colliding.
Yeah.
So they
Daredevil's
figured
there also.
yeah, so
From
they,
Doctor Strange.
so they figured let's have
That's Cumberbatch, huh?
yeah.
He's
So-
brilliant.
Yeah, he is. So they said let's just try to get Tobey Maguire back.
Yeah.
And then Andrew Garfield signed
Oh.
too, and then everybody's there for
Brilliant. That's gonna bang,
in
dude.
concept. In
That's-
concept, it's brilliant. This could be terrible. I don't like the director that they've got for the movie, so I have no hope.
Dude, that's gonna bang, bro. Who Izzy Azalea or whatever I got introduced to this weekend is one of the best artists or whatever in the world.
Who?
If
Oh
we're,
no!
if we're listening to crap like that,
Wait, whoa.
Whoa.
that's gonna bang, dude.
Wait,
hey,
step
like
back.
that's gonna
slow
bang.
it down.
Like people are all about who's popular. Plus, you know what you're doing there? You're getting people like me back involved because they'll identify with Tobey Maguire.
Yeah.
So, that's gonna sold out. When is that coming out?
Wait, whoa. Can we take a
December.
step back?
That sold out. I bet you that is the highest grossing movie
Yeah, of this year.
of the last 10 years.
No, no,
Ma-
definitively no.
Oh no! Wait. When is Avatar coming out? This December as
Avatar
well.
2.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Okay, that's not going to compete with that. But
I don't have hope in that
I
franchise.
guarantee you, your movie, banger. That bangs because that's got everything: popular,
Don't call him
good
a movie.
acting, whatever. It's yeah. They've nailed it, dude. What's going to be called? Is it Doctor Strange 2 or
This one is Spider-Man.
Oof.
Something home.
Wh-
what
what-
is it?
whatever
I
it
don't
is?
know.
It's going to bang, dude.
Something.
They've nailed it because you guys, 24, you probably like the new guy. People from my generation, they're like, oh, we miss probably get Kirsten Dunst in there as well.
I grew up on Tobey Maguire. You forget this.
Well, but do you see what I'm saying? Is
Yeah.
there's a because I don't know the new guy.
Yeah.
I think Spider-Man. I go, oh, Tobey Maguire. You guys told me this morning. No. You're old, dude. There's 2 new guys.
Yeah.
So, brilliant.
Also, like Tobey
Brilliant.
Maguire, when you revisit those movies, you realize Tobey Maguire is not very good in those movies.
He's so cringy. It's like going back and watching old Disney Channel
But-
shows.
In a way, it's charming in a way because that's kind of Spider-Man's thing. He's a weird, awkward teenager.
Yeah.
But it's, again, like I said, the first one opens with a shot of Tobey Maguire chasing a school bus. This is a 24-year-old man chasing a school bus.
Hey, maybe he had bad grades.
Hey? No, he was, I'm just saying, that image, it looks wrong, and then you go into school, and then he's fighting Flash Thompson, who is literally played by a 30-year-old in the movie. I kid you not. These are high schoolers.
The oldest high school I've ever seen.
And
Guys,
it's
they're not
hilarious.
real people. I think you guys think they're real
No,
people. They're
okay.
just acting.
I'm just saying. I know. Look,
Suspend belief.
but I feel like, let's say, the current iteration of Spider-Man, that they actually look more like teenagers. At least, I'm just saying, casting director, do your job.
No,
Is all I'm saying.
But don't you think back then, to me, they would have looked like teenagers? So
No.
it's not just about
What do
you.
mean,
No,
bruh?
absolutely not. No,
Oh, okay.
no.
All right.
I feel like, well, comic book movies were in a place then where it's like, this is comics accurate, I'll take it. But now you can be a lot more critical, I feel like. Because,
sure.
I don't know.
Well, there's Twitter now. There wasn't Twitter back then.
Whatever, those movies are good ultimately. There's Sam Raimi. And Sam Raimi directed those. And he is directing the new Doctor Strange movie with Tobey Maguire in it. Funny enough. I care about that far more than the new Spider-Man movie because it's directed by Mark Webb, and Mark Webb is not that good of a director. I
Great
think
name for a Spider-Man
That's what I'm
director.
saying.
I was just
I
thinking.
actually think they hide him off a pun.
That's
I kid
awesome.
you not.
Worth it. In this,
Really, I think they hide him off a
guys,
pun.
I have seen a few
Mark
new
Webb.
movies. None of them are good. We just care about popular. Make it work. Is it going to bang on Instagram? Definitely. Webb directing Spider-Man. Oh, repost, reshare, hilarious, lols. That's what's happening right now. We're not in quality, dude. I like
I
it.
disagree.
Let's lean
Vehemently.
guys. Let's lean into popular. Maguire,
No.
come back. Dunst, come back. Who was the bad guy in those?
He is coming back. Alfred Molina.
Who's the magnificent guy who runs the newspaper? Well, he's a great actor.
J.K. Simmons is there.
Bring them all. Hey, bring the band back, baby. Because right now, you know what's happened with hipsters and the youngsters and woke culture? It's gotten so far that now we have to go retro. Actually, that's what's hot right now. I've realized is people are loving retro. I saw I live in the northern suburbs of Johannesburg, and I saw Douchebag Central of the Millennium this weekend. The amount of people at these retro shops, or what do you call them? Thrift shops.
Yeah.
And it's these young kids with James's cool beard, and they just think, we're awesome. I'm like, you are kind of awesome, actually. I kind of wish I was young again. But now that's where we're headed, right? That's why that movie's going to bang, dude. It's going to bang. I'm telling you, people like you who actually know movies are going to be like, oh, it's all the movies coming together. And then people like me who just want to watch it just as a movie. James, I don't know what you think of movies. I've never really asked you. It's going to be awesome. Am I going to watch it? Absolutely not. But it's going to be awesome for movie watchers.
I mean, I hope I enjoy it. I have no hopes.
Are you going to go big screen? Do you like to go? Do you like to go first, like that?
Yeah, the Marvel movies especially are movies that are. You should see those in theaters just for the audiences type thing.
Oh, you like doing
Yeah,
that?
like I saw Endgame, which is the one that overtook Avatar as the highest grossing movie of
Is
all
that
time.
Thanos? Is that the
Yeah,
way
yeah,
Thanos
yeah.
brings the ring?
Yeah, the sequel to
Saw it
that.
on social
the part,
media.
The part,
I saw it on social
whatever,
media.
whatever.
I saw it on social media.
the part 2 of that. It's basically one movie, but that was the part 2. And I went to go see that on the Thursday,
Yeah,
the night before it opened,
got you.
where it was just. This was at Mall of Africa, so it's an IMAX.
Yes.
And it's huge. There are like 300 seats in this place. And then it's just, you see people in costumes as the characters. It's great.
That's awesome.
It's a great time. No, and everyone's respectful because they obviously care.
Yeah.
So you don't have kids in there.
Yes, it's not like
yes.
me as well. Like I'm gonna go there, be bored. Like you've got proper Marvel fans, Spider-Man fans coming out. Like
Yeah.
if you're going for that pre-show, you really
Yeah,
care
exactly,
about the film.
like-
It is nice to watch with people that are as investors. You come out, you probably run into people like, whoa, dude, you probably chat about it.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like, I don't know. I don't go there expecting to see the greatest movie ever. But again, just being around, just being in a theater where you can feel the excitement in the room.
Yeah.
Really, it immerses you in a movie a lot more.
It's like, listen, it's like watching football with other people at a stadium
Yep.
is so much better than watching it on TV. Well, I mean, I'm starting to doubt that because TV is getting really good. But there is that feeling. It's like a spiritual experience if you are all in sync and connected. So, hey, I feel you. But I also thought of this is you got to keep changing the Spider-Man. And I think I was saying it to yours. Spider-Man has to stay the same age because if I'm Marvel, I need to be able to sell it in 30 years' time. I can't do the Robert Downey Jr. thing.
I disagree.
So what? Do you think Tobey Maguire will still sell in 15 years? No chance.
No, my point is Spider-Man can be however old. Really, like let's say there was a Spider-Man PS4 video game.
Yeah.
It's a great time to be a Spider-Man fan, is what people might realize. Anyway, so there was a Spider-Man game that came out a few years ago, and he's 24 or 26 in that game. You know, done with high school, done with college.
Yeah.
He's broke. He's struggling to pay rent.
But they're not
And it's
writing
still
new
interesting.
Spider-Man comics, are
Of
they?
course they are. It's Spider-Man. Like,
But isn't Stan dead? Or
Yeah.
they have new guys
of course
writing?
yeah, Stan's long dead.
I'm out. If it's not Stan, I don't
No,
know.
no,
I'm
stop
out.
it. No, stop
forget
it. I
Well,
think if you give
some
a prop-
hipster at working about eventually what Spider-Man has to be some like it's just not going to be work if it's not female transgender
No, stop.
with and they have to drink coconut milk. Like eventually that's where the character's going to go.
No,
Just make
not
him a
at all.
guy in New York swing. Hey, what happens
that
when
hasn't changed.
That's it. It'll
None of that
eventually,
has changed.
everything's gone work. I'm kind of over it all. Tell me
No,
something.
man.
There's the black Spider-Man. Every now and then he
Miles
goes.
Morales.
What happens when he goes black?
Wait, Black
Whoa.
Spider-Man is
No,
in
not the
skin
black
color?
person. No. When Spider-Man goes
Venom.
dark.
Venom.
Oh, that was Tom Hardy. And hey, it was Tom Hardy.
Yeah,
I like that because he's a good guy.
that's a terrible movie.
No good.
No good.
Huh?
Tom
Oh.
Hardy's he's an okay actor when he wants to be. He's a good actor when he wants to be, but that's only when he works with Christopher Nolan, it seems. So
Hey, Nolan, darkness. He'll get it. He'll get that intensity out of you, James. Yeah, I'm saying.
100%.
Bale.
Good old Nolan.
You're a Spider-Man guy, James?
Spider-Man's my boy, dude. I've got a little Spider-Man bobblehead in my house.
Oh, so Spider-Man's the thing
He's
for
my boy,
the
dude.
youth.
yeah,
I bought a comic for Spider-Man,
Yeah.
and it's the comic about how all the Spider-Mans in the different universes.
Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Spider-Verse. Yeah,
No,
watch that movie.
not from the cartoon though.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
an
No, I know
actual-
it's. I know
yeah.
it's. I mean, it had to be from source material after all.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no. If you want to watch any Spider-Man
Okay,
movie,
fine.
watch Spider-Verse.
Not gonna
Forget-
not gonna
like
watch
no,
it.
like
Not gonna watch
forget
it.
forget all the live action ones. I don't even think it's
You-
better than any Spider-Man movie I've seen. Really.
I'm not gonna watch it. I've got better films.
Okay.
to watch.
Well, no, don't be pretentious.
No, I got better films to watch. No, I'm not gonna watch it. But
No, no,
I
no,
like
no,
your
no.
passion,
Well,
James.
for
I like
one-
your passion.
I
like your
mean,
passion.
I will say I may or may not have seen that movie on psychedelics, and it's a great experience.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
We'll talk about that another day.
Is your mother aware of this? I mean,
Hey?
you just told her now.
I'm pretty sure she knows already.
Wait, is this Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse?
Yeah. You can imagine what that's like. You can imagine what that's like.
Dude, there's a point in that movie where it's just wild. It's just colors.
That movie,
Everywhere.
really, that movie is visual heaven. It's a moving comic book.
Dude.
If you've ever seen one.
Like
So
like
cool.
Avatar.
There's a reason it won an Oscar.
What?
Oh, yeah. Best animated picture.
But anything's winning an Oscar now.
No, no,
The
no,
Oscars
no, no.
mean
Nah,
nothing.
dude.
Really?
The Oscars mean nothing.
Because I saw that movie. I went on a whim on a Tuesday evening to watch that at the theater. And after I saw that, I was like, I guess I'm in love with movies now. That was the movie that got me back into movies.
Dude.
Really. Well, that and Roma, but that's on Netflix too. Watch that.
Is there Spider-Woman yet?
Yeah.
Yes.
When did that start?
I mean, been going on for a while, but do you mean in comics or live action or
I think
No,
s-
mainstream
just-
media?
Ghostbusters did all women. I just think it's a little bit sexist
I
that
think
we only
the
talk about Spider-Man.
The animation is the first.
When did that
Spider-Man
start?
to introduce
Is that
a
recent?
woman, right?
Is that recent? Because it's a little bit toxic
2018.
masculinity. just-
2018.
Yeah, that's about right. Let's get it. I want a full
No.
woman Spider-Man
You need-
cast.
okay,
Even
I'm
the
gonna-
lady running the magazine must be
Okay.
female
man.
and
Newspaper.
transgender and has to at least have 4 kids that are mixed race and adopted from around the world. Otherwise, it is not representative of an inclusive society. And that's where movies are going. And I hate Spider-Man if it's not that inclusive by the end of this year. Do you hear me, gentlemen? Do you hear me?
Just watch that movie. There's
I'm
so
not
many.
going to
No,
watch Spider-Man, Karabo. I like your passion.
no,
I would-
really.
I would
Dude.
rather, a friend of mine
Okay,
has
you
a
know
great saying for it. I would rather goggle wasps than watch Spider-Man with the crap they make today. I
Bro.
want to be honest with you guys, but I like your passion.
Do yourself a favor and watch Into the Spider-Verse.
That's
That's
one-
incredible, dude.
I want you to
telling
do
you.
yourself a favor and don't get your hopes up. because it's not going to happen. Guys, next one up, Mortal Kombat. I got to get a big
Oh
TV
my
so I can
god!
stream it.
No, you cannot say I'm not gonna watch Into the Spider-Verse and then say
You
you're gonna
haven't
watch
even seen Mortal Kombat.
because I'm saving my time and money.
All right. Okay.
What
Let's
do you mean
Okay,
you're
okay.
saving your time and money?
Yeah, I mean,
One more
yes,
thing.
And then he tells me I mustn't be pretentious.
You okay?
Hey,
No,
hey, hey,
and I've got a rebuttal.
Yeah?
Spider-Verse is on Netflix. You just got Netflix.
That is true.
Yeah. You know what I'm going to do when I see it? Click right by it. Spider... Right by. I might even make a video for you, Karabo, while I click by it.
There is one movie though that I suggest you watch on Netflix
Yes,
above
I might
all else. Watch Uncut Gems.
Uncut Gems. I'll think about it.
It's,
Adam Sandler.
Yeah, love
Never
that
been a
movie.
fan of his. I thought his best role ever, and he is a serious actor. I loved Click. I thought he was very, very good in that.
Have you seen Punch Drunk Love?
I have not.
Directed by Paul Thomas Anderson, who did There Will Be Blood. So
Yes,
he's really good in that movie. One of my favorite performances. Uncut Gems is great. It is.
he's great.
the most-
Sandler's an all-timer.
Yeah, it's the most stressful movie I've seen. Easily, you think I'm kidding? It's about a gambler. You're just following a guy with a gambling
hey.
addiction.
I've seen it, read about it.
Yeah.
I know the story well. Actually,
Yeah.
I believe it's based on a real human being. Interesting story.
It's
Hey,
not, but okay.
lots to chat about. Passionate about Spider-Man, but my opinion, Spider-Man has to stay young, people, because in 30 years' time we will be dead, and the young kids will need something to buy. How old are you, James?
You plan on dying in 30 years?
I'm old now.
You're
I'm 35,
35.
65.
I might beat you to the punch.
Nah, you'll be all right.
Bruh.
Karabo. You young, handsome. You'll probably find yourself a beautiful wife. She'll take you around the world. You too, James. You've already got a lady, so you're practicing. You guys, you'll be happy. 10 years time, you're a little bit less stressed. You're 30 years old. You guys are both young, smart, intuitive, good looking. You have your partners. You guys will live a good life. I'm old, 65. Get me the hell out of here. I'm Tobey Maguire. Get out of here. We need a younger, better looking Spider-Man. So shout out to you guys for kicking old people out the window. Hurts a little bit, but shout out to you guys, right? You guys got to do your thing. You guys got to dominate.
We need to have a movie night because this isn't okay.
Listen, you know what my problem is I'm not capable of keeping what I think in my head.
That's fine.
I
That's
will
fine by
make it
me.
horrible for you.
No.
Do you know what I hate? I hate the idea of making your lives horrible. Do not watch a movie with me. Don't watch anything with me because I will tell you how horrible it is while it's happening. I'm not the person to go, No. In the movie, turn this off. This is horrendous. Now, I was going to discuss this. So, Karabo brings his water bottle in.
I just dropped it by the
Yeah.
string.
So-
I swear.
Why don't you have a less loud? I mean, it's a mistake the first time.
Yeah.
I like to be a forgiving person.
3 times a pattern.
But when you know that it's the risk of it dropping is actually a catastrophe for the whole entire show, surely you think to yourself then, you know what, I should bring a softer bottle or drink before the show. Or what's your thought process? So you probably just heard it, folks. That wasn't actually
a bomb going
the
off in the
tectonic
background.
plates shifting forevermore, thus causing an earthquake which can't repair a country. It wasn't Hiroshima Part 2. It was Karabo's water bottle. Your thoughts, Karabo? You're going to stop bringing in that bottle which is made of, I mean, what's it made of? Like
Titanium.
felt like I was at a Greek birthday there and they're just congratulating everyone, or a wedding. You know what I mean? Just smash all the plates.
It's just a bottle.
Oh,
I'm clumsy. I'm clumsy.
So
Okay.
don't bring
Sorry.
a bottle made of
Titanium alloy.
a tungsten will break the floor.
That's not what tungsten. How'd you get tungsten?
Oh, it's what it's made of. It sounds like the hottest substance man knows.
Okay.
That's what it sounded like. So
Okay.
shout out to Karabo not bringing that horrendous bottle in here ever again. Hipster thinking, oh, I'm so conscious, keep the same bottle. Plastic is murder. That is murder. What you got there is murder to my ears.
Murder to the show.
Murder to the show. All right, let's get into a show, which is actually a sports show. By the way, I know what you're thinking. Formula One, do I like it? I'm starting to get into it. I watched a little bit yesterday, kind of got into it in the morning. Some of the qualifying stuff, it was exciting. There was a lot happening. 20 minutes time, Spike Valentine's in here. We are going to discuss it because so much happened in that race. If you haven't seen it, don't worry about it. Don't even go watch the highlights. Spike is going to give us a run through. I can't wait to chat about it. And I have plenty of my own things to say this time, James. Monaco, did I watch? Yes, Monaco rocks. But before we do that, as I do every single Monday,
I did tell you to watch Monica.
listen, I got into it. But before we get into that, James, give me a little music. Every Monday, people are saying I'm the most credible person to ever live. And I go, stop it. I'm just a man. We all get out of bed 1 foot at a time. That's what the people are saying. It's on the streets. It's on the streets. And the only reason they say this is I'm willing to tell you when I'm right and when I'm wrong. So people always want to tell you, hey, you go on the Twitter streets, right? The youth, James, Garabo, these types they'll just tell you that time you were wrong, but they always right. People on Twitter, perfect. Not me. I'm a truth broker. I'm a good person, unlike the youth of today. I'm a good person. I'll tell you when I was wrong. All right, as I do every Monday, where I was wrong, where I was right with MKT. Let's get into it. Where I was right. Listen, people were panicking about Manchester City about 5 games into it. I said, listen, they've got the best ownership, the best manager, and the best squad. They'll be fine. They'll dominate. I was dead right there. Not sure they'll dominate for much longer, but I said at the beginning of the season, they are unstoppable. And they will be because they have the trifecta: manager, ownership, squad, and with that leadership. Where I was wrong, I said Liverpool would fall off a cliff this season, so I was partly right. But I said they wouldn't make top 4. Was wrong there. They salvaged it on the last day. Shout out to Jurgen Klopp. Shout out to those at Anfield. And huge result for them. It's a £60 million swing in terms of prize money guaranteed. So that allows them to go and nab another player. They may need to get rid of a few to bring in. But of course, Champions League changes everything. And I was dead wrong there. Shout out to Liverpool. You'll never walk alone. Where I was right. As soon as Tuchel came in fact, at the beginning of the season, probably with about 10 games in when we saw that it was coming apart with Lampard, I said they'll still make top 4. They got too much talent in that team. Once Tuchel came in, I said they look coached, they look organized. I said they'll make top 4, no problem. Now, little wobbly, but they got there in the end. Chelsea make top 4. Tuchel touch. He buys himself, at the very least, another season. Chelsea in the top 4 and in the Champions League final. Where I was wrong, I said Everton would be top 4 and maybe top 6 as things tailed away. I was dead wrong there. The quality of the squad isn't there. They've got the ownership, they've got the manager. They need to bring in 6 or 7 serious players. You can't have Keane and Coleman. Listen, Coleman, Everton legend, but the level they need to go to, you need a little bit more. They're going to have to reshuffle that entire back line and probably the midfield. Davies ain't it. I know they like him. He's a local lad, so maybe you keep him around for the squad. But I was wrong. I thought Everton would take that step. They invested hugely, and Richarlison isn't quite there yet. Is he talented? Yes. Is he ready to lead? Absolutely not. Everton top 6. I was dead wrong there. Where I was right, Super Rugby Trans-Tasman is the biggest joke in the world. I told you, it is basically the Australian teams are a light punching bag for the New Zealand teams. Did you see the Crusaders game? Richie Mwanga looked like a 30-year-old playing against 9-year-olds. That's what it looks like. It was men against boys. It is embarrassing. Super Rugby Trans-Tasman, an absolute joke. Where I was wrong, a great weekend for me. I'm a Lions fan. It was nail-biting stuff. But the Bulls are beatable. I thought they'd be unbeatable, especially having come off the Currie Cup win. They are beatable. Rainbow Cup, it is in the mix. My goodness, what a game. 1-point swing. Bulls are beatable. I was dead wrong there. I thought Jake might have something rolling. I thought he might be onto another dynasty. Not quite. Where I was right, Neymar and Mbappe are not a plan. You can't even win Liga 1. And I know people get so offended. Farmers League may be a bit strong, but stop it. You got Julian Draxler as a rotation player. You got Paredes as a rotation player. Sorry, you got to win the. You got to win Liga. You got to be there for that. And it's not like you tried that hard in the Champions League either. To be honest, you were nowhere there. Flair's not a plan. Neymar's not a plan. Mbappe's not a plan. They're icing. They're not the cake. And it showed you. Listen, I know it's just once, but they should be winning that league by 20. But they should be Bayern Muniching that thing easily, as well. Easily. Listen, let me tell you something. In the last game, PSG's bench was paid more in wages than any other squad. Entire squad. The wages of PSG's bench was more than any other squad in Liga. The bench. Stop. Neymar Mbappe, not a plan. I was dead right. And probably will break up. I think Mbappe a little tired of being in Neymar's shadow. And Neymar signed that new contract. And my goodness, if the numbers are to be believed, wow. Makes sense though. He is the pin-up boy. Puma, global football, Brazil's captain. From a business point of view, if you're PSG, it makes all the sense in the world. Good on PSG. But it's not a plan. And what you're telling me is you're not actually interested in winning the big one. And it makes no sense. Where I was wrong, I thought Phil Mickelson was done 10 years ago. He made history yesterday. at the age of 50, wins a major. Phenomenal. Golf is one of the most testing sports on the planet. It's everything. It's physical, it's mental, and he's done it. It is incredible. For 25 years, he has been at the top of the game. He endured a man I've called the greatest sportsman by a long way. It's not even close. He endured Tiger Woods for his prime 10 years. That's got to grate at you. To stay good, great long enough 25 years later. Shout out Phil Mickelson, 50 years old and a major champion. Shout out Lefty. I was wrong there. Where I was right. Listen, I have a saying. Never ever go back to your ex no matter what. Even if you think it's going to be good, it'll never be like the first time. It'll never be like the first time. I said it at the beginning of the season. I said it a season ago. Where is Zidane going? It makes no sense. You'll never have Kroos, Modric, Marcelo, Ramos, and that entire bunch at their peak again. Be honest. There's no Ronaldo now. There's no Bale at his apex. It'll never be the same again. Where was he going? Move on. It's old. It's expensive now. And Chelsea should have really beaten Real Madrid about 10 over the two legs if you watched both of them. And this is a poor Chelsea team. Chelsea are no good. It is very, very clear they are no good. And they really should have slaughtered Real Madrid. They should have slaughtered Real Madrid 10 at least. They should have been 4 or 5 in the first leg. Where was Zidane going? Folks, never go back to your ex, because the reason you left will always exist. Real Madrid were aging and it was tiring and it was ugly when Zidane left, and he peaked. Don't try and be happier than happy. You've already achieved the mountaintop. Where were you going? I was dead right. Shout out Luis Suarez. His interview, absolute legend levels of trolling. Lastly, where I was wrong. Spurs are better than Arsenal now. I know it's tough because we live in a world where we romanticize the world, right? If you're an Arsenal fan, I got some news for you. News got confirmed yesterday. It's 5 seasons in a row they've finished above you now. 5. Listen, 1, 2, 3. You say, come on. It's just another season. It happens. 5 seasons that's what it is now. And Spurs had an awful season where they got rid of a manager before a cup final. They fell apart with 15 games to go. Arsenal should be super worried. Like, problems are not solved overnight, especially in big business. Now it's like turning around the Titanic, because Arsenal think they're going to improve while Liverpool, Chelsea, Man City, Man United stand still. Is that what you think is going to happen? People hate Daniel Levy, but you better believe they're going to go out and spend again. So Arsenal, every single player you want, Spurs want as well. Now Everton are coming as well. I got bad news for you. Spurs are a better football establishment, and it's a real thing now. It's not just how I feel. Half a decade, that's not just a blip. It's not just a little trend. It's a better place to play football. Spurs had a calamitous season, and they finished above you. It's 5 seasons in a row now. I was dead wrong. I've been saying that Spurs are a loser organization. Arsenal are a loser organization. They are. And I said it to you before. Stop calling yourselves the Arsenal. It's just Arsenal now. Just say Arsenal. And don't say the Gunners. It's Pistols now. It's not. The Arsenal is Henry. The Arsenal is Vieira. The Arsenal is Tony Adams. What you have now is embarrassing. The fact that David Luiz leaving Arsenal is a big story should really worry Arsenal fans. Like, that shouldn't be a story. You should be going, all right, thanks for the service. We're on to better things. Rob Holding cannot be a starting centre-back if you want to be in the top 6 anymore. Honestly, Rob Holding doesn't get in the Everton team. And I don't think highly of Michael Keane. I'm not sure Rob Holding gets in the Everton squad, because he's certainly not Yerry Mina. That has to worry. That has to worry. He definitely doesn't get in the Spurs team. I was wrong. Spurs, better than Arsenal. 5 seasons in a row now. James, if you were an Arsenal fan, that would be tough to swallow, huh? Imagine that. 5 seasons in a row. Like, I'd forgotten about that.
Not being in Europe, huh?
No, finishing behind Spurs.
Oh.
Now, your father-in-law's a Spurs fan, eh?
Not my father-in-law.
Oh, I'm sorry, your stepdad
My stepdad.
Your
Yes.
stepdad, yeah.
He's from Tottenham.
from North London. He
Yes.
supports Tottenham.
Yeah.
He's going to love to hear. Though he probably doesn't watch the show. He's a 5-star chef. He's probably got better things to do than watch this show.
But I told you, like a couple of weeks ago, I think Everton are the new Arsenal.
It's incredible, dude.
I don't think Arsenal have pushed for much in a while.
He must be loving it.
Arsenal were in the Europa League semi-final last season
And this season.
and this season.
Yeah.
I don't know. No, they were in the final last season. They're not in the final this season.
No, they are not. They're very much not. No. They lost to a man they insulted for a year. And Mesut Ozil trolled him. I don't know if you saw that. Mesut Ozil, unbelievable. That guy.
I just don't understand how Tottenham, a squad with players like Harry Kane and Son, who are prolific goal scorers, are finishing above a team like Arsenal, who has Aubameyang, Lacazette, Nicolas Pepe.
I can explain it to you. They've got Toby Alderweireld at the age of 407 at centre back, along with the awful Dyer.
Well, it can't
And
be
then
that
they've-
awful.
No, horrendous. And then they got Aurier. I mean, that's why. Attack doesn't win you championships. It doesn't make you a good team. Like, that's why Harry Kane could stay at Tottenham for the rest of his life and win. I mean, for goodness sake, he won the assist and the top goal scorer award. That's not how you win. You have to have centre backs, goalkeeper, centre backs, holding midfield. If you don't have those, I don't care who you've got. I honestly, you could have Ronaldo, Messi, and Haaland. If you don't have centre backs, you're not winning. If you don't have a keeper, a world-class keeper, 3 centre backs, and a proper holding mid. I don't know, no mucking about Fernandinho at holding mid. Look at United. They've got unbelievable up front. But Maguire at the back, Lindelof at the back. No.
Who's Arsenal standing like centre backs?
Oh, they are bad. Gabriel and Holding. And Louise's backup. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Hilarious, right?
Well, I was laughing because I thought of a pun, but I'm just going to leave it now.
All right.
I was just going to say, how much more of a holding defensive player do you want?
Didn't have to say it, man.
I don't hate it. You see, that works. It's his name. He is in a role that's supposed to be... Yeah, it's not the worst you've produced. I don't hate it.
Not terrible, huh?
No, not the worst. You've produced so many bad ones that you've really dropped the bar. You know what I mean? So, no, I like it. I like it, dude. I like it. Today's a good Monday. We're having a good time. So, yeah, not bad. More of a holding player.
I'm on better form on this show than than Arsenal was the whole season.
You see, yeah, there we go. You got it rolling now.
Nailed it.
Yeah. No, you got it. Kind of Arsenal, as, basically your Alex Iwobi, your thoughts on them being a dead football club?
Sky's blue.
Sky is blue.
Really?
Correct.
blue.
So is Manchester.
I hear you. Nothing new to share there, James.
Nothing new.
Karabo.
No.
Yeah.
nothing
So
new.
they did 5 seasons in a row, though. That's got to be a bit of a gut punch for them. You know what I mean? Like 2 seasons you can handle. I mean, as a United fan, you've been going through your own trauma with City, but
Yeah.
that's a whole different kind of trauma. We'll deal with that at a separate time. There's only one show. But that's got to be that really is a kick in the gut sack for Arsenal fans when because sometimes you don't even feel it, you know, because they're both like floating around somewhere in the middle. You never realize.
You consider them like the same team
Yeah.
almost.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like 5 seasons, my God, Arsenal, what is going on?
I actually looked at the final log after yesterday's games this morning, and not seeing Arsenal in the top 6 did not shock me one bit.
Isn't that
seeing
crazy?
them 8th, I was
Yeah.
like, oh,
Yeah.
that's acceptable.
That's what they are now.
Oh, West Ham are up there, Leicester are up there. Like,
Oh my goodness! Imagine if this is what it is now. Like Arsenal, Arsenal Football Club are they basically Wolves now.
oof.
They're just like in the Premier League.
Imagine if the
No,
Super
but they're
League.
just in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Like Wolves are just in the Premier League, right? Like Arsenal are not going to be in Europa, and I mean the only reason we must also keep this in mind. The only reason they were in Europa last season, they won the FA Cup. They came 8th. So it's not like that's 2 seasons in a row now where
So what do they play in the UEFA Conference League?
no, they're not even in the conference.
Oh wow.
No, Arsenal are not even. Spurs are in the
8th, bruh.
conference.
They're 8th.
What are the Conference League places? 5th, 6th?
7.
Fifth.
No.
Oh.
Conference is just 7th.
Oh,
5th and 6th is
no.
Europa. Yeah, they're not. That's what I'm saying. Last year, Arsenal were this. They just happened to win the FA Cup.
Yeah, 5th and 6th is Europa. Sorry for the brain fart.
Yeah. So Arsenal are Wolves on a budget. They've just got a budget. I'm telling you, they're just in the league now. It's just like who's another team where you just think they're in the league?
West Ham is the team you think that's just in the Premier League.
Although no, they've been a bit of a yo-yo club. You know, like
Yeah,
Arsenal.
yeah.
I mean, kind of like I'm trying to think who else is who's in the middle there. Just they've been around for 10, 15.
Just think, who's not popping in our heads right now?
Yeah.
Southampton.
There it is.
Yeah.
That's who,
Southampton.
Arsenal are Southampton with a budget.
Yes, that's a perfect.
You've
yeah,
nailed
that's
it.
perfect. Yeah, yeah.
They, like they're just in the league. Like there was a time when you were scared when you were playing Arsenal. Now it's just like maybe rotate some players for that game.
Palace.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Basically,
Palace are just kind of there.
And they've been there for a while now. They've got good ownership. They're stable. They know what they are. They're not going to overspend, which Arsenal don't. So
Yeah.
I'm telling you, they're like, hey, the Apple iPhone comes in what? The thingy and the plus, right?
Yeah.
Arsenal's just Southampton plus. That's what it is.
basically.
Honestly, I don't think I sound crazy for saying that. I do
I
not.
don't think you are. I think, I don't know. It's changed so much over the last few years with Leicester winning a title, and now Leicester actually, at one point this season they were 2nd or 3rd. You have different teams pushing now. Yeah, City is always going to sort of be that like epitome of Premier League sort of champions, but dude, West Ham are 6th,
That's awesome.
Leicester 5th.
But this is what happens. Listen, it's a good life lesson. And a friend of mine says, I do get very preachy on the show, but it's where I am in my life. I'm old. Is in life, if you are standing still, you are dying. Arsenal stood still for 15 years. What do you think? Did they think Man City are just the Sheikh just came to have a good time? They thought what? You liked hanging out with the Queen? No, seriously, when the Sheikh arrived, what did Arsenal think was happening? When Roman Abramovich arrived, what did they think these like business juggernauts were coming to do?
Arsenal weren't concerned because I know for a fact that it was either City or Chelsea that were taken over around 05-06. And that was shortly after Arsenal did the Invincibles. So they were focused on...
Well, it was Chelsea, and when Roman arrived, you must remember, bought like 11 players. Yeah. But what did they... I don't understand when you run business. What do you think these guys are coming to do? Like, Netflix look at Amazon, and they're very well aware. Oh, boy, we better sharpen up, right? Because there's YouTube Premium now, and YouTube... Like, they constantly on the game. What the hell have Arsenal been doing since 2004?
pushing the Invincibles.
Yeah, just...
Yeah.
Hey guys, we were the Invincibles. Everyone,
Hey,
stop. We were the
In
Invincibles.
fairness, they pulled a bit of a Liverpool, You never walk alone. It took you 30 years. Seriously, I think it's a live off your history. Don't laugh, Karaba, because I think Man United are doing the same thing right now.
It's a cycle. It's a
Man
cycle.
United
Yeah.
are doing the very same thing.
Yeah.
Our history.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, some people are busy making history. Some people are talking about it. Real thing. Man City making history.
Yeah.
Man, oh man. Arsenal, terrible. El Terrible, as the Spanish might say. You know what I'm saying, James?
Man City.
I like it. James, you are cooking today. I like what you're about. Karabo, you're going to, you're a good person. I'm not saying you have to leave because you're a bad person.
Okay.
It's just that we're going to talk Formula One now, What are you up to this week? We're seeing you on Wednesday again. Hey, Karabo.
Yeah, I'll just be watching movies at home.
What
Really.
movies are you going to watch? You know what you should watch? You should watch one of the best movies ever made. It's Spider-Man Multiverse Infinity or whatever. What's it called, James?
Okay. Okay.
Hey, what's that, Karabo?
Are you under the impression I just watch comic book movies? It seems like that's the case. Anyway, the movies I want to watch when I get home, 2 Hong Kong movies, Chungking Express and Fallen Angels, both directed by Wong Kar-wai.
Chunking Express.
That's a cool name. Cool name. Robbie Williams was Loving Angels instead.
Robbie or
Robbie Williams.
Robin?
Robbie
Oh,
Williams.
the song.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you
Okay.
didn't get the reference because
No.
you're young and moving and grooving.
No, I don't get the reference.
Batman, just a rich white dude. All right, good to have you in here,
Yeah,
Karabo. Just a rich white dude.
Yeah, Spider-Man's got superpowers. Batman's superpowers. White privilege.
And also white privilege is... See, that's what the woke community says. Does Batman have a girlfriend? What a loser.
When does he not?
Does he have a girlfriend?
No, he cannot have girlfriends.
Does he get sexual partners?
He has a thing with he
yeah.
has like a thing with Rachel, doesn't he? Not like an actual thing, but like
They were
there's
dating.
like a spark there.
He's
They
a
were
loser.
dating.
He's just a rich loser.
No, yeah, they were dating, but
What a
like,
loser.
yeah, Batman just sleeps around.
Because Spider-Man has
He's
the
like-
cool,
he's like-
hot girlfriend. Batman's such a loser. I just
Batman's-
thought about it now.
In that way, he's like Iron Man, basically playboys.
Oh, is that what he does? Although
Basically.
Iron Man's cool. Batman's such a loser. I just thought about it now. You're so rich, can't even get a girlfriend. What a loser, dude. Enjoy your movies. Kang Kong
Whoa,
Hi.
Chunking.
Chung King.
Chunk.
Little bit racist there.
little,
Little bit racist.
little,
Little
I
bit.
thought it was Kang Kong. Sorry.
Model, Chunking
Chung King
Express,
Express.
and then Fallen Angels. I've seen Fallen Angels already, but they're kind of spiritual sequels to each other. So
Hey,
why not?
listen, there are angels every day. So you got to keep rewatching the movie because the angel are constantly blessing us. James, you know what I'm saying.
Hey man,
You're
I'm
a man of
loving
the cloth.
angels instead.
Yeah, hey, shout out to that. James, should we hug it out? Karabo, great having you here.
Thank you.
You're a great dude, and I love having you here. Your movie insight, just your insight in general. Love it. I love having you here. See you on Wednesday. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to hug it out. This show is called the MKT Show. I am MKT. We will see you in a bit. At number 3, the one, the only, the Welsh wizard, Ryan Giggs. He's gold, right? That's gold. He's separate from everybody else. There's nothing you can do about it. 13 Premier League titles. And he's the greatest winger the Premier League's ever seen by a mile. It's not close. He could do everything. He could cross. He could deliver from the byline. He could score incredible goals. He was Bale before Bale. Because he could do everything. And the athleticism was freakish. He could go box to box. He could carry the ball. He could play up front. I know people they marvel at Bale, but we already had Giggs. If you don't believe me and you're young and you're going, I'm just an old head, go and look up his goal, by the way, in the treble season. It is famous. Go and look it up. It is against Arsenal. He goes box to box with the ball. They've got 10 men in that game. It is the most unbelievable thing you'll ever see. Ryan Giggs at number 3. All time. Now, he didn't get in for certain reasons. At number 2, it's difficult for people to sometimes understand value because we live in a world where popular makes you seem valuable. In reality, he's the greatest player the Premier League's ever had. If there wasn't just this other guy who's just a freak in terms of ability. Because ability is only half of the package. For me, the most valuable and greatest player in English Premier League history. Welcome back to the MKT Show. I'm MKT, which is a good thing because this is my show.
Well, thanks for that.
It's a very, very good thing.
Just in case you were wondering otherwise, James.
You know, if you're going to have power, what you got to do is use it. You got to wield that axe because that's how you deal with your insecurities.
Sure.
James, you're really young. You probably don't get this. If you're insecure like me, what you got to do, be loud and express it. If you get an ounce of power, just be out of control with it, dude. Just be out of control, and that's what I am. But before we get into your response, James, to that wisdom, something was mentioned in the intermission. A musician I love, and I clearly don't love him as much as I say I do, because otherwise I would have known this information.
Sure.
So I'm a little bit of a liar, a little bit of a hypocrite. I will call myself out on this Monday. That's why people say, James, I'm one of the best people to ever live, because I'm happy to say when I'm wrong. That's what the people are saying. I'm not saying I'm the best person ever, but I'm honest. Ladies and gentlemen, Robert Zimmerman, Bob Dylan, hitmaker, society shifter, just an icon,
Just a boy, huh?
a transcendent figure in the history of mankind. Turns the big 8-0 today.
Man with a dream.
Robert Zimmerman. And he was dead right. The world is a changing, and for better, which is good stuff, James. It is good stuff.
Sure. I don't have much to add on Bob Dylan.
Oh, I thought you said it's bad that the world's changing. I was like, oh, James, what you into, you know, sort of the Incan Empire being crushed back in the day? Speaking of which, by the way, good sell. This is called Big Broadcasting. Blind History this morning. Banger.
Nice. Blind history.
And people are wondering, what's blind history? Oh my goodness, are you kidding me? If you are interested in creating, I've always said this, I love education, I love reading. It's why the man who's joining us, Spike Valentine, he'll join us in a little bit. He's with us in studio. Him and I kind of get along. He's a big reader. He loves history, knows a lot more about history than I do, but I do have an inquisitive mind. But I love creating an appetite to learn. Sometimes we get obsessed with the learning itself. And an ex-girlfriend of mine had the greatest saying. She said, learn for the knowledge, not for the marks. And as I'm getting older, I only now understand. That's why she had to leave me, James. I didn't understand her wisdom back at the time. I was a waste of her time. But Blind History this morning, absolute beauty. You can get that on the Cliff Central app, cliffcentral.com, or wherever you get your podcast. Anthony Medera, Gareth Cliff. If you are a teacher or somebody in the space where you're trying to cultivate an appetite to learn, that's often more important than the learning itself. In young people, we need to create, and I try to create this in myself all the time. That's why I like to hang around smart people, an appetite to learn. Blind History this morning, an absolute banger. It'll be out tomorrow, hey Spike?
It is out at the moment.
Oh, okay. It is out at the moment, so you can go get it. So did it go live this morning?
Live this morning, yes.
Brilliant.
It is available for download right now.
Yeah. No, I caught it this morning, and I'm very, very happy that I caught it live this morning. Absolutely brilliant.
I just realized something.
James is going to have to do some big producing
Yeah.
while I bring Spike Valentine in.
2 of our cameras don't work.
That's okay.
That's where we are currently.
We're gonna switch them out, and we'll fix it.
Excellent.
We'll fix it while I chat. So you'll hear audio from Spike while James fixes the camera, I guess. We'll go back to a wide.
No, we can't even go to the wide. That's broken too.
Oh, everything's broken. Nothing works. All right. Well,
People won't get to see Spike's pretty face.
we're just on podcast now. Huh? We'll have to stick on me.
You can't see my face. Am I even here?
Well, listen, you got to start asking those questions.
If it wasn't on the gram, did it even happen?
Yeah,
Here
you
we
got to
go.
start asking those questions. Spike, we're not going to get into it. We're going to try and James is going to try and fix all the cameras back to what it was because the wide was working just now. So we'll get it back. Had an argument earlier with the young folks.
You had an argument.
You know, I'm not a confrontational person.
No,
As
not
you
at
know,
all. I would never have
reserved.
said so. Yeah.
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 I said a while back to the young folks out here was that movies aren't for me anymore, and they were arguing for Spider-Man this morning, and I said Spider-Man has to stay young because you're not going to get Stan again to rewrite Spider-Man from the beginning, and the original story is so beautifully written.
Yeah, but I mean, Stan's dead, so that's not going to happen.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Is he's very dead.
Yeah.
Shout out to him, by the
Yeah.
way. But I get the rotation of Spider-Man is keep him young. He has to, like, in my mind, I'm like, Tobey Maguire, just keep him forever.
Yeah.
That's Spider-Man in my head. But again, I'm biased to my generation.
Yeah.
Is they going to have to, what, there's going to be another 5 Spider-Men in our time?
Yeah, but they'll keep churning them out. As long as people are going to go watch Spider-Man, they'll keep having new Spider-Men who are the same age as the original Spider-Man.
And you are, and you are into films, and I like the way you look at things, because you're also a creator, really a creator, particularly on the audio side. Your thoughts on Marvel and that genre of films? Because I'm out, but Karabo and James just think I'm a lunatic.
I've lost track. I lost track a long time ago. I don't know how many Avengers movies there are, but there seem like there's about 8,000.
Have you seen all of them?
I don't know. Because I don't know how many there are. Maybe I've seen all of them.
Did you see because I know there's a Thanos guy, and he pitches up.
Yeah, he's the bad oak.
So you've seen him.
Yeah.
And there's a ring involved.
No, there's a glove with the gems and the thing. Yeah, I don't know. I know about Thanos.
Okay.
And then I think I saw the one afterwards where they took care of Thanos. And I don't want to give any spoilers because maybe not everyone's seen it, but someone else dies in that episode.
Okay.
Sorry, in that movie.
But
it is an episode. It is like a very long episode.
No, it is. It is an episode. It's just a 2-hour episode.
Yeah.
And these things happen. So yeah, okay. So are you all in though, or all out?
I'm not that invested in the Marvel universe. I'm more of a, I don't know. I made this factor into your argument. I'm more of a DC guy.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So I'm more Batman, Superman.
Batman. We were just talking about Batman just now.
You can't beat Batman.
You like cars though. That's why.
No, not just not because of the cars. I just like Batman as a character. He's dark. He doesn't play by the rules. James, fix the cameras.
We have one wide,
Well,
and that's the one we've been using for the first half
How
of the
many
show.
wides do you want?
Yeah, you just need one. You only need one wide.
Exactly.
Let's finish off on the Batman thing. Bit of a loser, Batman. All that money, all those beautiful cars, all those assistants, still can't get a girlfriend.
It depends on your definition of winning.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe the
Maybe
darkness.
maybe the fact that he's got all that money and no one to tie him down in inverted commas is exactly what he wants. In which case, he's won.
He's smarter than Bill Gates, because Bill Gates thought, make all the money, marry someone.
Oh, look where that got him.
Woohoo! Booby trap coming. Booby trap coming.
Quite literally, huh?
This is a whole other avenue we're going down now. Talking about this.
Sorry, Bill Gates.
I mean, the fact that none of us is married just tells you we shouldn't be talking about this particular subject.
James, you in a happy relationship? I think. Or you're in a relationship. I mean, I don't know if there's such thing as a happy relationship. You're in a relationship.
Sure.
Plans to get in.
Sure, if that's what you want to call it.
All right,
I don't
James.
know.
I'm not going to open that. Yeah. All right, James. Maybe when you're ready to talk about it. No. You said it now. And does your lady listen to the show? James?
Yes.
You're going to have some explaining to do. And I didn't create that. That was not something I created.
Yeah.
James, I'm so sorry. I'm trying to make you sound enthusiastic about the love of your life. I'm so sorry that I would suggest you speak glowingly of a lovely lady.
I thought we were talking about cars. I wasn't prepared.
What? Your girlfriend's not a possession. A car. How dare you compare it to that? Unbelievable. Let's move on, because we're a sports show. And we actually have an expert in here, which is me.
Everyone thought to who are you referring?
Yeah,
exactly.
Wow.
Everyone thought I was going to do Spike there. You are dead wrong. I'm an expert, big motoring guy. And before we get into it, I just want to kind of tell everybody the streets of Monaco. Obviously, people like myself and Spike would know, but me more so. It was the softest of the 3 Pirelli tires that's available in their range that you needed for yesterday. You may or may not know that. Myself and Brundle know that.
Yeah, I mean, they had to have. They didn't have to have it, but that's what they went with for various reasons.
Yeah,
As one of the options, because you have to run 2 different types of tires.
as I know, but as I'll let you explain, because you here, you might as well.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't want to take sort of hog it all. Monaco yesterday, by the way. Just, are you kidding me?
No.
How much drama do you want in one weekend? Like, we're going to get into all of the teams, but my God. Like, that was... I watched bits of the race. I didn't catch the end, but I was catching, kind of jumping in there. Eventually had some commentary in the back while I was doing some stuff. But the amount of drama just from qualifying.
But that's what Monaco's about. Monaco's got lots of drama. Generally, the drama is very often not on the track. There's not a lot of overtaking, as everybody knows. It's a very difficult track to overtake on. But there's lots going on all the time at a circuit like that. It is the epitome of the driver's circuit for me. It's one of the best races, if not the best race of the year, not because it's about the on-track action, but because what it encompasses a lot of what racing is about, Formula One racing.
And I just want to get into this. That is the hardest driving in the world, I'm convinced. is leaving the Monaco pit. How ridiculous is that? Firstly, that yellow line is super tight to the wall, and it is forever. And you got to stay in that yellow line. I feel like it's closer than other lines.
Yeah,
It is so narrow.
Close to the boundary.
Well, it is so narrow.
It is super tight.
Even the pit itself.
Yeah. It is the tightest pit lane on the calendar, but Monaco is the smallest circuit. It's the shortest circuit. It's the slowest circuit. So there's lots of superfluousness, superlatives.
Yeah.
When it comes to Monaco.
Man, let's just get into it because that was awesome. Oh, I watched the short highlights right on the app, and I was like, no, too much is happening here. I went over to Supersport. I had to watch the 56-minute highlight thing because I was just like, there is way too much that's just happened in this race for me to just watch that. So really looking forward to getting into it. Spike Valentine, welcome to it, brother. James, you obviously don't know anything about Pirelli and some of the tyre options there.
I do. Not as much as I want to know, though.
Or as you can just say it, as much as I know, as much as Spike knows.
Sure, as
but
much
whatever.
as you and Balelo know because you've been watching Formula One
James,
As long as you've been alive, basically.
James.
Absolutely.
I don't have to win for you. I don't need to put you down, you know what I mean? It's not a zero sum.
That is exactly
So
what's happening.
I don't have to put you down.
That is actually
in order for me
exactly
to look
what's
good.
going on.
So, let's move on. Monaco 2021. What a race. Let's start off with the Red Bull.
The Red Bull
The boys.
finally getting it right. It all comes down to qualifying and how that worked out, which we'll talk about the hapless Charles Leclerc. But Verstappen was kind of fortunate to find himself at the front of the field, not on pole position, because that fell away because of Leclerc's non-participation.
But talk to me about this. I was trying to look up the rules. Why don't they just put him first?
Who, Verstappen?
Yeah.
They did make a comment on it yesterday, and I tried to find out why, but I think they do it because you qualified second, and so there's no real. I think it does come down to an extent to if you generally when you qualify on pole, you have the better side of the circuit. So, in essence, if you qualified second, you don't deserve to be on the other side of the circuit because where the grid slot is, where the grid hatching is, that is theoretically the best place to start the race because you've got the cleanest line, you've generally got the run to the first corner. But Verstappen was a bit of a disadvantage because he was on the other side. Even though he was ahead of Bottas, Bottas had a clear run, and Verstappen had to be super aggressive to chop Bottas off, which he had to do.
Very clever.
It was aggressive. Everybody saw it coming because he parked his car at that angle. And I think to myself, I wonder if Bottas could have parked it the other way and tried to. I don't think it would have worked out because Sainz had a very quick Ferrari under him. So I was wondering if Bottas might be able to pull to the left to try to go around the outside of turn one and take the lead that way. But it would have been a longer way around for sure. But Verstappen had to be super aggressive on the start. It worked out, and it was his race from there. He just managed it superbly. And it's got to be said, Red Bull managed it as well. The strategy, there wasn't a lot of strategy because it's a one-stop race. But certainly you have to manage the gap, your pit stop window and where you come out. So they have to be very aware of when they pit Max, where he's going to come out in the field. They have to manage that very carefully between their driver and the rest of they have to watch the rest of the field, and they did that really well. They dropped Max back after his pit stop into the right place that allowed him to just carry on his race and basically walked it. I think it was probably one of the easier races he's had in his life, albeit at Monaco, which is 78 laps of just pure concentration. It's a phenomenal circuit from that point, and this is one of the things that I love about it is there are no mistakes at Monaco. If you make a mistake, you're out. The chances of you getting away with things like you can at another circuit are close to zero. And he just walked it. It was phenomenal to watch.
It was awesome. I mean, again, I want to go back to that start quick. Like you said, is now you're punishing him for starting like
punishing is a strong word. Punishing is a strong word.
As you say, Bottas had literally clean line and probably the best place to start on the track.
He did have the best. He was further back, so that's his disadvantage. Verstappen, I think, had more work to do. But whether he was ahead of, whether he had to contend with Leclerc ahead of him or not, he probably would have done the same thing to make sure that he didn't lose the position to Bottas, because those Ferraris were quick, and if Leclerc was there, I'm pretty sure he would have arrived at that corner first and probably won the race, given the pace that both Ferraris had during qualifying
Listen,
and practices for that matter.
yeah. If I'm the Red Bull team and the sort of the bigwigs there, I love to see a young man like Verstappen yesterday, because that tells me he's got the killer in him.
Yeah.
You know, you can't practice that, and you can't teach that. Because hey, that was, as the great Alex Ferguson says, squeaky bum time. Is you got to be aggressive there, otherwise. And listen, you can't teach that. That killer, you can't teach.
You can't.
I love it.
Yeah, Max has been aggressive his whole career, and I think it's part of the reason he's got to where he is, because he's never been scared of a fight. What he has done over the recent season is got to that point where he can manage a fight a lot better.
Yeah.
So he's not just crashing into people or taking himself out or ruining his race by being too aggressive. He's now got that combination of being aggressive but managing it to the point where he can be aggressive, get the result, and carry on racing.
Yeah.
Which he didn't have previously.
No, I loved that. Honestly, if I'm Red Bull, I'm like, yes, we got our guy. Because I like that killer instinct. And I'm pretty sure they have invested.
Yeah.
I mean, think of the market. Whatever they've invested in him, they go, yesterday shows you, we got our guy.
Yeah.
And we got our guy for 10 years.
Yeah. And I think also the interesting thing for me with Max is he was, if you listen to his post-race radio and his post-radio comments, he was happy, but he wasn't shouty, screamy, over the moon. I mean, to win at Monaco, you're one of the greats if you win at Monaco.
Yeah.
And he wasn't over the top he wasn't like completely nuts about it. He was like, great guys, we've won, great job. And he came out with an interesting comment afterwards in one of his post-race interviews, and he said, he likes to let his, actions speak louder than words, and he likes to do his talking on the track, and that's a direct comment to Lewis Hamilton earlier in the week, who said that he thinks Max has got a thing or two, that he thinks Max is trying to prove something. He's still got something to prove. And Max was like, you know what? Screw you, I don't.
By the way, Formula One, sell this. Like, I don't want them tempering that. Make that a storyline, make it a rivalry. I want to watch it develop.
That's all you've got in Formula One is Verstappen versus Hamilton at the
Sky
moment.
Sports created a promo for it.
Awesome. Take those comments, clip them, because sell that, dude. I want to watch, like for a casual like me, I want to get into that. Like, it's the legend versus the upstart.
Yeah.
I like that, dude. And sell that. Do not try and temper that and make it a family show. Sell that. It's good for the brand, especially a guy like me. Perez,
bit of an average qualifying again, but he did have some good pace after his stop, and I think that combined with a good strategy from Red Bull that allowed him to run a little bit longer. He managed to make up some paces and came home fourth, and I think he'll be happy with that. Again, listening to the post-race commentary from team boss Christian Horner, sounded very relaxed about it. He was like, "Don't worry, Sergio, the results will come. You're doing what you need to do. Carry on doing what you're doing, and we'll get there." So I think Red Bull will be happy with his development to make up he qualified ninth, so to make up 5 places in Monaco, even with what happened ahead of him, I think they can be very happy with that.
for the first time in his career, their young man Verstappen, top of the pops on the leaderboard, on the championship race.
Yeah, it's been close a couple of times, but he's now actually top of the leaderboard in the Drivers' Championship, and Red Bull are top of the Constructors' Championship, albeit by 1 point.
That's my boys.
Long season to go. Long season. Lots to happen, but I think we said it after the very first race. I think the difference is going to come where you've got Perez, who's improving race by race. When you've got Verstappen and Perez able to take the fight to Mercedes-Benz, I think that's going to make the difference.
And great for the product.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
now, Lewis wins yesterday. You're kind of right.
Yeah.
But now you go, and now you can sell it for the rest of the season. You keep us interested. You keep people interested. Because Formula One, I love, dude. I'm not going to watch it just because I'm not a motorsport guy. But everything about it is the final level. It's a bunch of scientists. And, to be a Formula One driver, you're like an astronaut.
Yeah.
Some of the G-forces going through, like you say yesterday.
Some of the all the G-forces.
Every G-force on this planet is going through your body. Plus, you got to control this rambunctious technology below you, because you make one mistake, it is overs cadovers.
Yeah.
It's a phenomenal. Everything is at the final level, and it's great that you keep the season relevant. Let's move on to it's a Shakespearean tale.
Oh,
because for the first time
in tragedy.
In 80,
it's a drama.
It is.
That's
exactly what it is. Whilst it's a tragedy, it's a drama. First time in 85 years, a Monacan.
Monegasque.
I thought it was Monacan.
No, Monegasque.
Ah.
Monegasque. Where
Yeah.
did they get the guest from?
He's
That's
become.
French, I don't know.
Right.
Have some respect. It's Monegascan. It's Monegascan.
There's certain parts of these F1 shows that I despise a lot,
Sure.
Really?
and that's one of them.
What's that?
It's just the attempted sort of puns,
Mm.
and
Does he not do this during the regular show?
not as much as when you hear Spike.
Oh, I see. Interesting.
I support James's puns, but he doesn't support mine.
Well, yours because your puns are terrible.
It's true.
Listen, it's also because I'm a good person. But I don't want to get into that, James. I don't want to get into it. I don't want to get into it right now. For the first time in 85 years.
90 years.
90, 36, hey? 19?
It was 1931. You're talking about the great Louis Chiron.
Like the first time
Yeah.
that somebody actually from Yachtland who doesn't pay taxes qualifies pole.
Yep.
Tell us how it unfolded.
It was the first time that there was a Monegasque, first time in 90 years since Louis Chiron in 1931 was in the running to win his home race. Louis Chiron, going back all those years, he finished third, I think, in 1956 or something. But for all its presence in the Formula One circuit over the years, there's never been another Monegasque winner of the Monaco Grand Prix besides Louis Chiron in 1931.
And he's the first, Leclerc was the first pole as well.
I think so, yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So that was the amazing part. That was the drama part.
Could you imagine the party?
Wow.
He wins.
It would be
10 yachts.
It would be boat parties for weeks.
Philip
Just
gives him 10
everywhere.
yachts.
Yeah. Or 10 yachts a year for the rest of his life. Or whatever you want. Here we go.
Anyway, Spike, how did that unfold?
So Leclerc qualified on pole.
Shame, man.
But on his second pole run, he had the pole position time, and on his second run, attempting to improve on that time, he clipped the curb at the exit of the swimming pool, which a lot of drivers have done over the years. Max Verstappen, most notably, 2 years running. Nicholas Latifi did it as well. Clipped the exit, clipped the armco, broke his steering arm, ramped over the curbs and into the wall, ending not only his qualifying session, but the qualifying session in totality. So as soon as that happened, the red flags came out. No one else was able to set a time, which is obviously upsetting if you're a driver like Max Verstappen on the best lap you were doing, like Valtteri Bottas on the best lap you're doing, like Carlos Sainz, who believed he had a shot at pole. So he took pole position, and that was the order for starting.
But
But-
why? I was thinking yesterday. Why do they just sort of? I know qualifying has a time limit and stuff.
Yes.
Why would they just say, okay, the time limit's up? They still haven't cleaned the track. That's qualifying done. So.
Because there was only 18 seconds, I think. So the way the qualifying works is your qualifying time stands as long as you start a lap before the checkered flag.
Okay.
So if you start your qualifying run and a second later the checkered flag comes out, qualifying is over. So that's your only lap. So with 18 seconds going, if they had said, okay, cool, pause the clock at 18 seconds, everybody go back to the pits. Then clean up the track, take the car away, qualifying restarts, you open the pit lane. No one would have got around the track and across the start finish to set a lap time in those 18 seconds. So there's no point.
There's no time left on the clock.
There's the time is up. So yeah, that was it set the start order for the next day, and Ferrari obviously did their diligence. They went over the car. The big concern with that accident was that because of the nature of the accident, there was some gearbox damage. In Formula One, if you replace a gearbox before the start of a race, then you incur a 5-second penalty. So Ferrari said, well, we either replace the gearbox out of, just to be sure, and drop Charles back to wherever, what it was, 6th or 7th place or whatever the case may be, maybe probably even further back, or we give the car a thorough once over, we check everything we need to check, and once we're happy, we give the car, okay, we rebuild what we need to rebuild. In other words, the front front right and rear right of the car, the entire setup, replace the front nose, do whatever you need to do, and get him out to the start finish. The next day, they went out on the formation lap. Leclerc says he came towards the tunnel. As he came into the last turn before the tunnel, he felt something go. He doesn't think it's anything accident related. I find that hard to believe. He doesn't think it's gearbox related. I would have thought they would be able to check that, but the end of the day, he was out of the race because of he was unable to take the start because of a failure.
What is he suggesting there?
I think he's saying his thing. I think the question was asked him directly: was it a gearbox problem? Because if it was a gearbox problem, why didn't Ferrari pick it up? He said it didn't feel like the gearbox, which is completely plausible. Then there was this, and I think they still are investigating what exactly the cause was, but the problem was actually on the left-hand side of the car, and he obviously hit the wall on the right-hand side of the car. So it's easy to say, well, the two are not related, but there's also a theory that says the shock of hitting the right-hand side of the car at the speed that he did maybe upset some internal components that were on the left-hand side of the car. And that's what broke. And they didn't bother to check that because the damage wasn't on the left-hand side. So it was some internal component that probably snapped or broke or whatever the case may be. At the end of the day, the great hope of Monaco was unable to start the race, which is a huge shame. It was a massive, massive shame. I was looking forward to seeing him cross the line first and take that win.
Sacre bleu.
Yeah.
Bless you.
Yeah.
You hate to hear it.
But my favorite part of the whole Charles Leclerc incident was the conspiracy theories that came out.
Yes, let's hear it.
That said, oh, no, he did it on purpose to make sure he took pole. Just like Mike Schumacher tried to do in 2006, where he made a mistake, in inverted commas, at Rascasse. So no one else could set a pole lap, including Fernando Alonso, his rival at the time.
Yeah.
The conspiracy theorists came out and said, oh, well, he did it on purpose. Which is utter rubbish because there's lots of other ways to make sure that qualifying doesn't happen. You just have to induce a double waved yellow flag for all the other drivers on the track to abort their fast laps because you have to slow down under the regulations. And there are lots of places you can do that in Monaco and make it look like a mistake, in inverted commas, without having to damage your car. Which is just an idiotic way of doing things. So if anyone believes that he did it on purpose, I think it's...
Plus, he was in pole. He's probably been riding on a tricycle on that track.
Yeah.
So, since he was, 2.5? I don't know when children start riding a tricycle. He would have been fine. Yeah. By the way, there's no way.
No, there's no way.
I do like a conspiracy theory myself, but that one
is ridiculous.
That ain't going to work, yeah.
Interestingly, though, I heard him say a couple of times during the weekend how he found it weird to get into the headspace of racing at Monaco. Because he was like, because there's my junior school, and that's where my mum works, and that's where I go for a haircut. And now he's got to swap his mind into race mode and ignore all that stuff while he's going 190 kilometers an hour.
Oh, the baker.
That's why I got hammered last week. That's the same.
Oh, man.
That's so good. But all Sainz.
Oh, no. Sainz, Carlos Sainz. I wish the guy would just win a race because I think he's got a lot of race wins in him. I as much as the hype is about guys like Verstappen, and with good reason, and guys like Leclerc with good reason, Sainz is one of the guys who's up there. He just needs to get that first win, and I think he will be one of the... I rate him as one of the best drivers we got at the moment. He was superb all weekend through qualifying, through practices, and in the race. He had a disappointing qualifying partly because of Charles Leclerc's incident that brought out the red flag, and he came home second, which is just a great result at Monaco. It matches his best ever finish. He finished second at Monza last year as well. And interestingly, Sainz he wasn't all that enamored with his race result. He was like, yeah, it's good, but it's not that great.
He wants to win.
He wants to win.
That's awesome.
And he said when he was chatting to his engineers after the race, he said, we had a car to win. And I think that he's also, I think he feels sorry for the team because he knows what was missed with Charles not being there. And he thinks he would have thought that they would have had at least 2 podium places, if not the win in second place. So I think that was also tempered his enjoyment of that race. But he just drove a great race. He had a good car under him. He managed it well. Dropped off towards the end. I would have thought he'd be a little bit closer at the end. But still, to take second place at Monaco is a great achievement. And I reckon this guy is, as I say, he just needs that first win. And we'll see him on the podium a lot.
As Brundle said yesterday, great to see the prancing horse back where it should be.
Yeah. As much as I'm not a Ferrari fan at all, they're just the combination of Ferrari history and Monaco history and Formula One history. Just to see it there is phenomenal. It's really excellent stuff.
Forza the Scuderia.
Forza.
Yeah.
And by the way, everybody should get a mask like Carlos Sainz.
Oh, what does he have?
You know what it is? You know what he's got? He's got a mask
of himself.
Wait for it. He's got a mask that fits. So he doesn't have to keep pulling it up and pulling it down and adjusting it every fourth word out of his mouth. He just puts it on and talks, and it stays in place. It's wonderful.
Now, I'm not a doctor, but I'm starting to get it less and less. I saw the drivers hugging closer than ever yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Like, why are they wearing masks?
The whole world, man. The whole world's chilling.
But I'm not a doctor, because some people, there are people sitting at home right now going, don't you care about the pandemic? I'm just saying, makes no sense.
They say it in that voice as well.
Well, there's a type.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was about to say something until you said that.
Well, there's a type, yeah. I'm not going to get into it. All right, Lando. And the McLaren boys.
How
Wow.
cool did those McLaren cars look this week?
Yeah,
Very.
wow. It's such a pity that they, for whatever reason, okay, so pity's the wrong word. So to put it in context, right, the orange that the McLaren runs, the papaya, that's the classic McLaren color.
Yeah.
When they first arrived on the scene, they were the papaya. So that is a McLaren color. That's why they run the cars that color. But to see it in the Gulf livery, that Gulf oil blue and orange, is just, it's an iconic livery.
Yeah.
It looks amazing on whatever car you put it on. They race it in Le Mans, they race it in sports cars, they race it in F1. It just looks great, whatever car you put it on.
Yeah.
And they won their fire suits, their onesies look pretty good as well.
Yeah, swag, dude.
Yeah. And it must be said that I think as a driver pairing, Norris and Ricciardo had the best one-off helmet designs this weekend as well.
Yes.
Danny Ricciardo's helmet.
Yes.
It was proper. It
Oh.
was a proper old school riveted visor. It was phenomenal.
Had like the 3 in the circle thing.
Yeah. And Norris had the old school goggles airbrushed onto the above his
Yes.
visor. It was brilliant.
It's why Monaco's special, though. I think everyone turns it up a notch.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, guys like, okay, so Williams had their 750th Grand Prix this weekend, and both drivers had tribute helmets done.
Yeah,
George Russell's helmet was amazing.
I didn't see it.
It was almost like Star Warsy Stormtrooper-esque.
That is awesome.
Great
Sky-
helmet. But the McLaren boys outdid everybody.
If
No,
you
that
go
was
onto
swag.
Sky Sports' Instagram page, they posted on Friday, I think, of the updated helmets for the drivers that changed their helmets. Dude, they just look so cool.
Yeah.
I was
mean,
in love.
Outside of Lewis and when Jensen was at the beginning, because Jensen grew up and became an adult, actually, there hasn't really been a swag guy. Like that was swag yesterday. I was like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Because Jensen at the beginning was the douchebag of all douchebags. if people don't remember him, full on playboy. But he became one of my favorites because he just grew up and became like a representative of F1. Good for swag, dude. It's good for the game.
Yeah.
It's good for the game. And
And it's another thing that Monaco is good for, is that, you know, the FIA has a rule that says you can't change liveries, you can't change helmets, you got to keep them the same. But when Monaco comes around, they're like, it's Monaco.
yeah, look the other way. And pageantry is a big
exactly.
part. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a TV show. Ultimately, we
There we go.
need
It's
to be clear about it.
entertainment. We want to be entertained.
It is. Thought Lando was great. Yes, Brundle was loving him.
Yeah, Lando, you know, it's another great qualifying, and he did very well at the end to put paid to the pressure by Perez. That's my alliteration for the week. Perez was hounding him for a good 20 laps before the end. Norris was complaining about his tires. I know Monaco is difficult to overtake, but it's also it's also very easy to make a mistake that can put you out of the race. And Norris put it together really well. Excellent qualifying, capitalized he qualified fourth, and he capitalized on that to finish third. And he was over the moon in typical Norris style. So that guy is the best guy to listen to on team radio when he's happy, because he's like a complete clown.
I absolutely love. Was it him where he told his team to? I think it was Lando who was saying to his team, because he had remember it was a bit hairy at the end.
Yeah.
His tires were finished. He's like,
He was not happy.
I don't want to hear any talking.
Yeah.
Thank you for the last 8 laps or whatever. He's like, I've heard enough.
All right.
Thank you.
No talking.
Yeah, I love that.
And that's not an uncommon thing for drivers to say, but it's also it's kind of incongruous for me, because all your media interviews that you see him, he's this happy-go-lucky, really smiley, funny dude. But when he races and he's in, when the pressure's on, that can race properly.
That's awesome.
And he does come up with the comments like "no talking."
I loved it. I loved. I love that. I'm in the zone now,
Yeah.
and also it is testament to him to say, you know what, we all know what's happening with the tires. We all, I don't need to hear it from you guys. You know,
Yeah.
I know, we know. Now let me just take my skills take over. Just let me get in the zone. I'll see you guys at the end. Have the bubbly ready.
Yeah,
And,
and I know how close how close Sergio is behind me, because I can see him in my flipping mirrors.
Exactly.
I don't need you to tell me.
No, I love that. You see that again. That tells you you've got our guy.
Yeah.
Because you know, sometimes smart people don't like yes men. Those nerds in the back, they love being pushed. So once you got a guy who's gonna, they probably go back and forth at each other. I would love to see like a documentary of like Shumi days, right?
Yeah.
They love that. It sets them on fire, and if he pushes back, we got our guy. Because you need an alpha persona to
Yeah.
be. I love that, man. Absolutely loved it, Fernando. Now, the Aussie
Oh dear.
swag helmet.
Yeah. And also, I mean, he's a bit of a swag guy.
He
He's
is.
got his own clothing line.
He is.
He's all about the beer drinking and the swearing and carrying on like a playboy. But yeah, it's just his driving is not where it needs to be at the moment. Another disappointing qualifying. Another disappointing race, made even worse by the fact that he was lapped by his teammate, which is just, as Jacques Villeneuve said after the race, is just one of the worst things that can happen to you as a professional racing driver, to have the guy in the same equipment as you lapping you. It must be utterly heartbreaking for the guy.
Yeah.
Dan Ricciardo, after the race, admitted it was one for the bin. His engineers were trying to encourage him after the race to say, look, don't worry, we'll figure out what went wrong. You'll get it right. We'll get the results. But it still must be kind of hard for him to deal with. He's been pantsed by his teammate this whole season so far. And he's not a guy who doesn't know how to drive. He's been up there, he's won races. He's been in intense competition against the likes of Max Verstappen and had good results against him, and he's just not finding his way with this McLaren for whatever reason. He said before that it doesn't suit his braking style. I think there's a few. It's a bit more than that, and they're not really forthcoming about why exactly he hasn't shaped yet. I'm looking forward to the day where it does click and he figures out what's wrong, and then because there's no doubt he's got the capability to match Norris in that car.
Listen, also, this is now, Danny, we know the swag, you're good, we can sell you, you're funny. Get down to it now.
Yeah.
Because now what you need to do is, while you're in the car, knuckle down. We're like, I get the swag stuff, that's cool, I like that. Shut that off for a little bit. Let's get back to business. Do what got you here. Over the next year, he's going to have to knuckle down, right?
Yeah, he's going to have to do something. And it's that thing of, whatever he's been trying, it's whatever is not working.
Oh, you know what he needs to do? Put another shrimp on the barbie, dude.
Oh,
Aston Martin.
Oh, Seb Vettel. Qualified 8th, finished 5th. The old master makes it count in Monaco. Love that guy.
Love it.
That he is, for me, he's the epitome of the old dog. He's just like, you know what? I've been there. I've done that. I got nothing to prove. And then he comes out with a performance like that at Monaco. It was a really well managed race. He had a very, very close call with Pierre Gasly coming out of the pits. So Gasly was on track, fending off Hamilton behind him. Vettel came out of the pits at the tight pit lane exit that you saw. They raced all the way up the hill towards Casino Square, and according to the gas man, it was very tight. He said there wasn't a centimeter of track left, but Vettel made it stick and took the place, stayed in 5th all the way to the end. And I think he's very happy. Despite his very mellow demeanor after the race, he's generally a mellow kind of guy these days. But yeah, they can be very happy with that result, particularly because they got both cars in the points. Lance Stroll finishing in 8th place.
Good news for Canada there. Good news for everybody. Hey,
Yeah.
Good weekend, Aston Martin.
Yeah, and also, and for me, proof that Stroll, I said it last time, I'll say it again. He deserves to be there. They put him on the hard tires to start. They kept him long. He didn't make any mistakes. He made it count. He took advantage of other people's mistakes and other people's poor strategies, brought it home in 8th, and got some good points for his team.
I'm happy about that because, especially on today's show, it was just two youngsters. You know how the youngsters can get a little out of hand. Vettel doing it for the old dogs.
Yeah.
Crush the youngsters. I've always thought to myself, how do I want to live my life? I want to crush the youngsters.
Yeah, I mean, he's the best of the old dogs at the moment, actually.
No, and I love it.
Yeah.
I do love it. It's a good thing, James. I'm saying, you youngsters get a little out of hand. Get Vettel back in there.
Need to be.
Smack you in the mouth a little bit.
There we go.
Why do we need smacks in the mouth?
Because you got to know your place. You know what I'm saying? Not everything's Instagram and Twitter and how you feel. It can't just be man buns everywhere. A little bit old school. Come on, Vettel.
Man buns and chai lattes.
There we go.
Sounds like the greatest name ever for like a
band.
A band, yeah. Man buns and chai lattes.
Yeah, and it's those indie bands, but they only use synth instruments.
Yeah, and they've got hundreds and hundreds of fans until they get millions of fans. But once they get those millions of fans, the original hundreds of fans are like, oh, they sold out.
No, I saw them at the library.
Yeah, I knew them. Yeah, I knew them before they were big.
Yeah,
I knew them when they were performing at UCT.
I bought their
It's
first
like-
coffee.
Yeah.
Like, that was
Yeah.
me, and
Yeah.
I actually introduced them to a chai latte, a spicy chai latte.
Yeah.
Unbelievable stuff. Listen, one thing that got missed this weekend,
Mm.
I want to be clear, because I don't think Ocon gets the sort of points that he deserves. Man, oh man, that guy could be on a GQ cover tomorrow as well.
You reckon?
He's got that thing, that French thing.
He does need some orthodontics, I do think.
Lol.
But they kind of like that in France. Like the Tom Hardy
The
Hollywood guy
imperfects.
isn't good. They,
Yeah,
they,
yeah,
they, they don't really do that in Europe.
Yeah.
They kind of like that, what
Mm.
you've just described there.
Yeah, that sort of imperfection.
Yeah, they're into it. And listen, I thought he was. What did you think of his performance this weekend?
Yeah, he did again. He's just showing the way in that team. So he qualified 11th, finished 9th, and I think he'll be very happy that he continues to beat his double world champion, one of the greatest ever driver teammates, Fernando Alonso,
Yeah,
and beat him quite comfortably, quite easily in the end. I think Alpine will be less happy about not having both cars in the points. Alonso struggled all weekend. He only qualified 17th and managed to make up some places towards the end of the race. He finished 13th, even though his team put him on the soft tyres at his pit stop, which they thought might give him a bit of extra pace. Yes, Monaco is a difficult place to overtake, but it didn't help at all. So he finished out of the points in 13th place. And again, he's, to his credit, he's come out and said, well, he's still finding his feet, he's still finding his way. But interestingly, he's very praiseworthy of Ocon. He's saying that this kid knows what he's doing. He's a great driver. He's proving it again and again,
that's awesome.
which I'm quite surprised at, actually, but good on him.
Yeah, because we do know Alonso. He will tell you how he feels. So
It's one of the reasons you got to like the guy.
yeah, maybe he's maturing. Maybe he's maturing. Who knows? But hey, we are who we are. Eventually, give it another 5 races and things don't go right. I'd like to hear how complimentary
Yeah,
is then.
exactly. I think that I would have thought that a circuit like Monaco is less about the car and more about the driver, which is why I'm surprised Alonso finished down where he did. It goes some way to explaining why Vettel finished where he did, because these guys are the best of the best. And, give them half a chance and they will take it at a place like Monaco. So I'm kind of surprised that Alonso, I'm not surprised that he was beaten by Ocon because that's becoming a regular, but I'm surprised that he qualified in 17th. And I'm kind of surprised that he finished out of the points. I would have, before the weekend started, I would have put him down for some points.
Were you thinking to yourself when you're watching it, I can't believe it?
What team are we doing next?
We're moving on to Drama Central.
Oh, my word.
that was
Oh, my word.
I can't believe it. Drama Central. Now, it felt like somehow somebody had scripted this weekend
Are you starting another conspiracy theory?
because
That's what it's sounding like.
don't know if you saw Lewis and the way he's parked his yacht in the middle of everyone. Don't know if you saw it, James.
What do you mean?
On Friday, they showed Lewis' yacht. I think it was before qualifying or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Just like front and center, the best camera view you can have. And
was it that huge one in the harbour?
They're all huge.
Well, that's
No,
that
there
doesn't
was
describe-
one
no,
that
no.
was flipping.
no, the one,
massive.
Lawrence Stroll's yacht was also there. That was
All right.
that was the quadruple decker.
Quadruple decker. God, I love that. But yeah, it's as though someone scripted this weekend. It's like, okay, he lives here now.
Yeah.
Like everything's gonna happen this weekend. Everything that can happen to one team, he's back. I mean, Lewis Hamilton, are you kidding me? Just
Sure.
Mercedes AMG in general this weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, let's start with Lewis and then we'll finish off on
On
The-
the hapless Bottas.
yeah, I don't know,
On the luckless Bottas.
Ooh.
So Hamilton, he was nowhere the whole weekend. He never shaped in practice. He didn't qualify. He qualified 7th. He was ranting and raving on the radio about his strategy in the race that saw him finish 7th. But ultimately, I don't think whether he finished 7th or he finished 5th, sure, it meant more points and he would have marginally maintained his lead in the drivers' standings. But it wouldn't have been a good race either way. And he would have been miffed either way because they would have lost a lot of points to Red Bull either way.
Yeah. But what happened?
I don't know. It's difficult to say because obviously we don't know what goes on inside the team. But I do think, given it became more apparent in the race for me that I think the problem really is that the Mercedes car and how it manages its tires. So Monaco is we said earlier it's the slowest circuit, so it's difficult to get tires up to temperature. As well as that, it's a very low grip surface. They resurface that track every year, so the track is the surface is nice and smooth. So it's very difficult to generate heat into those tires, and it's the same for every driver, obviously, because they're all racing on the same circuit. But I think that maybe the Mercedes is a little bit more susceptible to cold tire running. And it doesn't manage its tires quite as well. And the reason I say it became apparent in the race because Bottas just chewed his tires chasing Verstappen. And Verstappen didn't look like he was pushing it at all. Verstappen looked like he was doing what he was doing, and managing it very well. Bottas was the one breaking a sweat and trying to keep up with him or trying to attack him. And he just chewed up his tires. So that's the only thing I can think of is that the tire management of that Mercedes car wasn't to Hamilton's liking, and that's why he just could not get that car into a position where he could fight for any sort of decent points.
I mean, he nearly crashed in the pit lane because I think some guy was pulling out. I don't know what happened there.
Unsafe release.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there.
Yep.
Was it an unsafe release?
I didn't see it.
Yeah, no,
it sounds like it.
some stuff happened there.
Yeah.
And then he was on the team though. Like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Because he wanted to be ahead of.
He was they put him in for the undercut on Gasly.
Gasly.
He wanted to get ahead of Gasly, and it didn't work because
he was not happy.
No, again, it comes down to the tires because the whole thing with the undercut overcut pit stop strategy. You undercut someone because the theory is that if you undercut someone, in other words, if you pit before the guy you're attacking, his lap time on the older tires will be slower than your lap time on the fresher tires. So you get out first on a fresh set of tires, you set a quicker lap than he does, and so ultimately once the pit stops shake out, you come up ahead. But that's the problem with Monaco, is because you can't heat up the tires very quickly. So the undercut, then you need more than 1 or 2 laps to get the tires up to their optimum temperature so you can take the attack to the guy you're attacking. Whereas the overcut, if you're on older tires, they're up to temperature, they're working well, they're not taking it a bashing because the circuit is, as we say, slow, low grip, so those tires are happy. So if you can stay out longer, which is what Vettel did to make his positions up, which is what Perez did to make his positions up, they overcut their rivals, which is an anomaly really in Formula One. Generally, the undercut works. But at a circuit like Monaco, it doesn't work. Hamilton found that out firsthand, and he was not happy.
He's not ever happy when he doesn't come first. Huh? He's like when he doesn't come first, he's properly upset.
I do think that if there's any Formula One driver who's in a winning car and they don't come first, they're as unhappy.
No, for sure. Show
Fair
me
enough.
a good loser.
Yeah.
I'll show you a liar.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, he was vocal on the radio going,
I was loving it.
why am I still behind him?
On the Formula One app, they've kind of cut all his different segments.
Yeah.
By the way, moving from him, the world's... Listen, in a perfection sport, if you have the worst pit stop once in a season, it's a catastrophe.
Yeah.
Not twice. It doesn't happen.
So the luckless Valtteri Bottas, he qualified third, ended with a DNF for his one and only pit stop that he didn't even complete because they machined the nut straight off his wheel. So they couldn't take the wheel off. And just before coming in to do the show, I read that the wheel is still on the car because they have to take it back to the factory in order to take the wheel off the car. That's how bad the problem is.
You know who the biggest loser is in that whole situation? A lot of people are thinking Bottas.
Yeah.
You are wrong. We live in social media times.
Yeah.
The guy who's holding the drill, because it's social media times,
Yeah.
he even throws the arms up like that.
Yeah.
That is going to be a meme forever. Like him sitting
And if
next
it's not,
to
we should make one.
a Formula One car,
Yeah.
and then they give him a second drill. Still not. He's the loser yesterday. Oh no, terrible.
Well, I think the one of the Merc team came out. I think in anticipation of your comment there about the guy being the loser, they came out and said he's the best guy they've got.
Yeah, get ahead of it. Yeah.
And still, so they say that the problem was that the gun didn't seat properly on the nut, and that then basically machine. So if you look at the wheel nut, it's got 2 spokes essentially. So it's a hub and it's got 2 spokes. The gun locks onto those spokes and then undoes and then tightens the wheel. And what happened was there was a misalignment. So when the gun spun up, which it does with massive amounts of power, obviously, because it's got to affix a Formula One tire to a car, it basically machined those little spokes straight off.
Yeah.
And so the thing is now locked in place.
Yeah, Brundle was saying they'd maybe stripped it. Is what the guys were
basically,
speculating.
if you think about it from you know what a lathe is, right, James?
A what?
A lathe.
He went after.
A lathe.
He calls a handyman.
Okay, so if you think about it from a point of view of basically, in the most basic sense, the two spokes that they needed to loosen the wheel, they essentially chopped them off,
Oh, dear.
and that's why they couldn't remove the wheel.
I'm no
Lol.
handyman myself. That sounds like a bad
No, it was a nightmare. and for me, the worst shot was they came over the guy's shoulder,
Oh,
and he fired the gun, and you just saw bits of aluminium or titanium or whatever is flying all over the place. I was like, "Oof,
No.
this is."
It all fell into place so perfectly.
Oh,
But
no.
see it over his shoulder,
Yeah.
and it was just all.
yeah, but I feel so sorry for Bottas because that kind of thing. Again, conspiracy theories. You'd be like, oh well, they didn't want him to beat Hamilton, which is utter rubbish because Mercedes is there to win races or compete. They're not there to throw away their races. They don't spend millions of dollars every race just to end up in the pits. But poor Bottas, if he didn't have bad luck, he'd have no luck at all. That's the one takeaway. And the other is that when Mercedes gets it wrong, they get it wrong.
all or nothing.
Yeah. I mean, you think about Germany in 2019. You think about Mexico in 2018. They just they like to get it wrong properly. Just like they like to go racing properly. They get it wrong properly.
It's not like your front wing has just kind of bent a
Bent-
little
no,
bit. It's
yeah.
like it's come off, and that's actually punctured your left
Yeah,
front
yeah.
and your right rear.
Because I'm on social media and I'm young and I'm hip, thoughts and prayers to them. I think
Yeah.
I've noticed when things go wrong, people just do that now. James? Thoughts
Sorry?
and prayers. Oh, sorry. T's and P's. Sorry, that's how you might know. T's
is
and
it
P's.
T's and P's?
Yeah, T's and P's.
Because of your character limit, you can't say thoughts and prayers.
T's and P's, it's just more, it's more vibey.
Oh, right.
Because
right.
right now, it's about a vibe.
Uh-huh.
As a representative of a
Gen
younger
Z.
generation,
Yeah.
I have no idea what that is. Never heard of it in my entire life.
Never heard of thoughts and
'Cause
prayers?
you're not,
T's and P's, huh?
you're not cool enough, James.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, that is true.
Yeah.
I do sit in a dark room and just edit.
Yeah, there we
That's
go.
all
All
I
right.
do.
There we go. That's all there is to it.
AlphaTauri.
Yeah, they had one half of the team had a good weekend. The gas man proving once again that he does have what it takes. Qualified 6th, finished 6th, best result of the season. And once again, he absolutely pantsed his much vaunted teammate Yuki Tsunoda, who started out the season as the Wunderkind, as the guy who was going to take the fight, as the guy who was going to show up as the rookie of all rookies. People were raving about him, and yet the gas man comes out and absolutely beats him. Gasly's only sort of demerit really is that he lost out in that pit exit battle with Vettel, but that really was, he fought as hard as he could, but couldn't get it right. Otherwise, a great race, and he said himself, you really can't be disappointed with 6th place. As for his teammate, Yuki Tsunoda, qualified 16th, finished 16th. And I keep saying I don't see what the hype is with this guy. Even Martin Brundle came out and said what? He started to question the Wunderkind,
Uh-oh.
saying, where's he gone?
Uh-oh.
Start of the season, it was all, people were loving him. He was doing so much. He was blitzing the timesheets. Now he's really not anywhere, and he hasn't been anywhere for a few races. So I think that'll be a worrying thing for AlphaTauri. Like Dan Ricciardo, like Fernando Alonso, I think Yuki Tsunoda has got a few things to sort out to make sure he's up where he should be.
From Japan, a patient nation, the land of the rising sun will always come back again. I'm backing him because I think it's good for Formula One to be in Asia as well at all times. So, hey, but listen, passion and talent ain't enough, pal. This is the big leagues. If you're gonna pitch up here, Mr. Tsunoda, you better deliver.
And I hope he does. I don't like to see guys fail before they even start. So I really, as much as I don't rate him, I hope he does come back.
Yeah.
Because there has to be something there for him to have been selected in the first place.
Hey, who knows? Maybe they need someone to turn the sun off and water the pitch.
There we go. Yeah.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
That's what I do. All right, James, give us some outro music. We will carry on in a little bit with Spike. Stay with us if you're on YouTube. If you're on the podcast, come and join us on the tubes. Come and see us live for the rest of Formula One talk, because we're about to get into a man who's got the greatest name in the history of Formula One, perhaps, but we'll be on the other side of that. My name, MKT. You're James. That's Spike Ballantyne, and you are who you are at home. Thank you very much for joining us. My name, MKT, the MKT Show, Cliff Central Sport. Remember, you can get the podcast, cliffcentral.com, Cliff Central app, or wherever you get your podcasts. Should be Pocket Cast. I'm just saying, not trying to tell you how to be sort of sophisticated in this day and age. Ladies and gentlemen, for today, the 24th of May, it's been an absolute pleasure. We are the hell out of here. And we're back. See, there's just so much to discuss. A lot of people say, be more professional with your timekeeping as the sort of host.
Be more professional with your camera that's dying. It's just...
No, people will say that. People say these things. I should have, hey, what do you think? I'm going to cut Formula One talk. What is it? What is this? Amateur hour? Absolutely not.
I'm thinking of the visual elements.
I'm thinking we're gonna give the people what they want. They want a podcast, and Spike Ballantyne only comes in once every 2 weeks, unless you got a back-to-back race. Then he's here back-to-back.
Oh, there's a triple header later this year as well.
Oh my goodness, 3 weeks in a row. Get out of here.
Well, then this must be my point of entry. The camera might die.
It happens.
So then you guys will be forced to stare at MKT's face for the rest of the show. I do apologize. Technical difficulties.
You wouldn't wish that on your worst enemy.
No.
You would.
Nope.
I wouldn't.
Nope.
And I have lots of enemies.
So I do apologize for when you have to stare at MKT's face for the rest of the show.
Awesome.
Not sure when that's going to happen, but we do have a flashing light.
Awesome. Very sensitive, James. A man of, the 2020s.
I think of the people before I think of myself.
It's so touching, James. I mean, a lot of people saying vomit-worthy, but good guy, James. Good guy. Still apparently has a girlfriend. Still not sure about that because he hasn't been very nice about her, and I think she's a wonderful lady if she exists. I believe in respecting women. James compared her to a car earlier. Don't want to talk about it, James. We've got to move on. We've got a show to do. The camera's dying.
Are you guys friends or what?
I'm just saying the stuff that happens.
Spike, this is a typical Monday. This is exactly how my Mondays go.
Sure. If you are friends, James, you're in an abusive relationship. That's all I can say.
I know.
I'm just saying.
Mentally, emotionally. Luckily, it's not physical yet, huh?
Yeah.
No, I'm not an abusive person. Yeah. And by the way, James is a nice guy, but he did compare his lady. James, I don't have time to get into this. The fact that you compared your lady to a car earlier,
that's dying.
she is not a possession. Giovinazzi has the greatest name. It's up there. It's got to be.
For a Formula One driver.
Yes.
Giovinazzi.
Italian, romantic. Like you can imagine him kind of, I think it was Sacha Baron Cohen.
Yeah.
You can get rid of that music, not James.
Oh, right. That's a thing, huh?
Sacha Baron Cohen in Will Ferrell's film Talladega Nights. He
plays, the boy.
He plays. So I kind of imagine Giovinazzi like that, like just full on douchebag guy. I hope he isn't a nice guy. And
No, he's a hell of a nice guy.
Oh, that's terrible. I'd want him to only date an Italian woman from a certain part of the country. You know what I mean? Like be that uber Italian.
He might be that guy.
Yeah, I hope he is. I hope he carries around his own coffee set with him, just because the rest of the world doesn't know coffee. You know what I mean?
I
hope he's. Yeah.
Look, he might be that guy, but he's got very good media training, so he doesn't come across that way.
Yes, yeah.
And I haven't seen inside his motorhome, and I don't know about his coffee machine.
And he carries around his own pasta. It has to be Italian. It has to be from a certain region. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I hope he's that type of guy.
And when he starts getting up there with the big drivers and starts dictating terms of his contract, he can say, right, I want my nonna to come to all the races so she can cook my food.
You guys want me or not? I hope that is exactly. I hope he's that type of guy.
There we go.
Giovinazzi. Hey, I'll take it if I'm him.
He would take it as well, and I think well deserved. Giovinazzi qualified 10th, finished 10th, first points for Alfa Romeo, first points for him this season, and he will be very, very happy with that. Raikkonen qualifying 14th, finishing 11th. I don't think he cares either way if he'd scored points or not. It's hard to tell with Raikkonen.
I think with Raikkonen, what's important to him is just to finish.
So,
what next team are we doing?
I just got it now. It was terrible.
Yeah, it took me a second also.
I want to focus on Giovinazzi though, because I think when he joined Formula One, he was a reserve driver for Sauber, I want to say, and he cocked it up terribly. I think he had two bad accidents, 2 races in a row. I remember the one being China, and everyone was like, "Oh, who is this guy? He can't drive a Formula One car." And he's done well at Alfa Romeo. So I'm glad to see that his consistency's been rewarded with a point. Whether he scores more, whether the team scores more this season, I think they might need a few races for things to where things go their way. But he can, as long as he keeps his nose clean, he's in for some more points, and I think that's good.
That is good. And maybe a hint to, listen, it's a brutal sport. Formula One, hey, you're not good enough first 2 years. I've seen how it's just a meat market. But maybe some drivers, early on, not everybody's a wunderkind. A big part of it isn't the talent thing, right? Is sometimes you need to mature, or everything that comes with being a Formula One driver. It's not just about being in the cockpit, as these great drivers come and realize, is not everybody's Michael Schumacher at 21 is mature enough to be, so maybe he just wasn't mature enough. And I love that as a comeback story. So I love a story like that.
Yeah, and I think also he's, it's a situation where the team is hiring someone that's from their junior driver academy and they're bringing him on board because he's got some talent and also he's cheap. And I think what he's doing for the team is probably rewarding them for the money and the time they've invested in him.
Awesome.
He's delivering.
No, that's
He's delivering within the context that he can. So given the car that he's got, the fact that he's outpacing Raikkonen on a regular basis is a good thing.
that is a good thing. Williams.
Yeah, also, as I said earlier, 750th GP weekend for them. About what they could expect. They're running at the back of the field. It's not an easy circuit for that car. Russell qualifying 15th, didn't even make it. Made it into Q2 like Mr. Saturday normally does. Finished 14th. And Latifi qualified 18th, finishing 15th. A bit of an uneventful weekend, I think, for Williams, and really, I think what they could have expected.
That's brutal. Once you get Mr. Saturday in Formula One,
No.
he could go and win 3 championships.
Yeah, and he'll still be.
Yeah, no, there is no getting rid of that
No,
one.
I disagree. I think once he starts winning,
Yeah.
he'll become Mr. Sunday.
Oh, you reckon
Yeah. They have to. They
docky
can't,
will be awesome.
they can't just keep it
gosh.
as Mr. Saturday.
that is one of the most brutal things because Formula One isn't also. It's not like football,
Yeah.
Is he has to endure that for like 2 weeks every time.
Yeah.
In football, you play another game on Wednesday, Sunday, Wednesday, Sunday,
Yeah,
Wednesday. That's brutal.
And the other drivers probably give him a hard
Oh
time
yeah,
about it too.
oh definitely.
Yeah, sure. But also you must remember guys like James Hunt, world champion 1976. His nickname was Hunt the Shunt.
That's great.
And yet he is a world champion and still regarded as one of the greatest drivers ever.
That is so good.
That's better than any of your puns ever.
You reckon?
Yeah.
I'll take that as feedback, James.
Also not difficult, but yeah.
Yeah, no, but also because I'm a better person than James, you see, I'm not going to get angry. He's giving me feedback. I respect him.
You're not going to.
I wouldn't
You're
respect.
I'm not going to
stop-
throw a strop.
Yeah, you're not going to. Also, you're not going to stop throwing out puns. So it's not really.
Yeah, that's also true. I'm also too self-centered
Yeah.
to stop. Yeah, because you think your feedback makes a difference.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't even realize
Exactly.
it. You're just the proverbial pissing into the wind. But it's you'll figure that out as it goes. Eventually, I'll grade you down. You know what I mean?
I thought you'd already begun to.
Oh,
do
you have no idea. You have
Shame.
no idea. Canada's got 2 guys on the.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that.
Lance Stroll and Nick Latifi.
Yeah, good for them. Good for the land
Spain's
of
also got 2 people.
Alonso and
Science.
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 Where's
Science.
science from?
Science is
Do you know?
from whereabouts in Spain?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I was about to say, didn't we just have that conversation about?
Yeah,
No.
10 seconds ago.
no. But my point is that you know how the Spanish get.
Yeah.
Like we were discussing it earlier, how the Catalans and the,
Yeah.
and the
I-
Basque, they don't see themselves as Spanish.
I don't know where he's from. I do know that Alonso is from Oviedo, which I think is in the north.
Because I don't know who it was who was Spanish, who always used to have both flags.
Science is from Madrid.
Madrid. Okay, so the
Okay.
Principality, he'll have the crown, and they are loving him. The rich, great. We will support you all the way.
There you go.
We love it. And by the way, Madrid, the king makes no effort to like pretend, right? We got Real Madrid. We are funding them, and we'll do it in your face. They are not. So
Oh,
yeah.
You guys think you can frown upon us when we do it?
Hey, listen, the
Don't
Madridstas, they will support their
The
people.
Madridstas, is that what they are?
Yeah,
Correct.
they will support their people.
Right.
They will. So hey, shout out to him. But let's finish off on Haas.
Yeah. Well, what's there to say? They came last.
Wait, I've got something to say.
No, before, sorry, James, before we jump, that's a little bit too blasé. So they did provide some of the best overtaking action of the whole Grand Prix, where Mick Schumacher made a good pass on teammate Mazepin at the hairpin of all
Oh, I
places.
saw that.
Yeah, basically shoved him right out the way.
And then the commentators went all on about how that's very much like his dad.
Yeah,
and
I was gonna
blah,
say.
blah,
Yeah. Also the other thing for Haas is that Mazepin outqualified and outraced Mick Schumacher. Mick Schumacher, of course, crashing in qualifying, so he started 20th, and then had engine problems during the race, so he didn't have a very good weekend at all. But Hazardspin, whatever you want to call him, came in ahead of his teammate for the first time, which he'll take some heart out of. Worryingly, and I don't want to cast aspersions, I heard some of his post-race team radio. We know he's Russian. He did say there's in a very kind of, I don't know if it meant to be, but came across in a very menacing kind of way. Words to the effect of there's lots of things we need to do to improve.
Oh.
Lots of room to improve, which sounded very much like a threat.
That's the problem with being Russian, though. He could have actually just been saying, I love my team.
Yeah, exactly.
But as soon as, I mean, a Russian guy could say,
Nice flowers.
Can I give you and your lovely family just an ice cream? We've got extra. And it could sound like he wants to take
Like
it
the
down
ice
into the
cream's
basement.
poison.
Yeah, but he's actually, he's probably given to every charity on the street.
Yeah.
But a Russian, they come across differently.
Some exciting
Great
news
people.
though
Tell us.
from the Russian.
Yes.
Mhm.
He never spun once this
He
week.
I was
didn't.
going to say,
He
I was
kept it
going to
under
ask for an
control. He
update.
kept it under control.
So his last spin was 17 days ago, 2 hours, 40 minutes, and 20 seconds.
No, that's, you like that. You like that for
I
a
do.
Russian.
You like to see it, huh?
Yeah, you do. That's good. Good for
Yeah.
him, dude. Mazepin.
Yeah, and I think interestingly, as testament to the difficulty that is Monaco, and one of the underlying reasons why it needs to remain as part of the Formula One calendar, despite many people saying it's boring and it's a procession, and everybody from Lewis Hamilton before the race saying there'll be a train, and Kimi Raikkonen complaining after the race that it's boring, and Daily Telegraph head sports writers saying it should be removed.
Monaco?
Yeah. A lot of people don't like Monaco, but the fact that newbies like Latifi and Mazepin do one Monaco race and say it's the most difficult race they've done tells you everything you need to know.
It's such a, modernity can be such a disease.
Mm-hmm.
Modernity.
Because,
It means things that are modern.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
With you.
Is that this idea that news always better is one of the most revolting things on this planet.
Yeah.
Like, especially in a romantic sport like Formula One, there's a whole spectrum to be had here. You can have the racist track, but this one's for guys like me. Like, it's also a TV show. It's I want to watch the yachts.
Yeah.
I want to watch. Is it rigid? Is it the same as it was years ago? There's a romance to that. We don't have to change everything for things to improve.
Exactly.
We just added Miami, hey?
Miami's coming next
Do you
year.
know what I mean? Like, we've added South Africa, like, we're going to add stuff. Like, people always think, again, it's not zero sum. You don't have to take away Monaco for Miami to be added. Like, we can have both. And let's keep some of the traditions. Tradition in this sense, and I'm always scared of the word tradition because it justifies the most torrid things done to people. But in this case, it adds to the texture of the sport.
Yeah, and I think you need all kinds.
Yes.
The fact of the matter is you need circuits like Spa, which is a very long, very fast circuit. You need circuits like Monza, which is a very slow, it's a very fast, very short circuit. You need Silverstone because it's a great circuit. It's got history. You need, all a mix of things. And Monaco is part of that mix. You need circuits that don't provide the fastest racing in the world. But certainly the fact that you've got 78 laps where one mistake could end it for anybody. It could ruin multiple drivers' races. You sit the whole race wondering when the safety car is coming out. You wonder who's gonna make the mistake first. You've got 20 drivers concentrating every single meter of that track. There's a lot of tension and I think that's one of the things I enjoy about Monaco. There's a great tension to it. As much as there's not a lot of overtaking and it does look like a bit of a procession, if you follow it closely enough and you factor in the strategic needs of the teams, who's considering what, the chances for the underdogs to come to the fore, like Vettel. He's not that he's an underdog, but at the moment in the car that he is, he's not in the strongest car, but the fact that he can finish fifth, the fact that you've got guys like Norris fighting off Perez, you've got guys like Lewis Hamilton, 7-time world championship, struggling to get anywhere.
Yeah.
There's all the drama.
Yes.
And that's why Monaco needs to stay, because it has those mix of elements that arguably not any other circuit has got.
And also, you know what? Modernity has this problem is we search for perfection everywhere. Is that, by the way, sport is meant to be a celebration. When I think, and I'm a casual, when I think of Formula One, one of the places when I think celebration, because that's what sport is. It's all the hours I've put into something, when the fans get to watch, when the cameras are on. Actually, I know now we've professionalized everything and it's about rah-rah on Twitter, but when you strip all of that away, sport is a celebration. And this is one of we really pop the champagne here.
Absolutely.
Take this away.
Yeah. At the end of the race, you've got royalty waiting to hand over the trophy.
Everyone who said that, I literally don't care who you are, you can go straight to hell. Everyone who said Monaco should be taken away, I don't care who you are and how important you are in the sporting world, Go all the way to hell. Leave Monaco and leave it as it is.
Do not pass begin. Do
No.
not collect 200 rand.
Go to the pits of hell, in fact. Go to the pits of hell.
The pits of hell, because we're talking about Grand Prix, huh?
Oh,
No,
unintended pun. You didn't even pick it up yourself.
Nice. You missed it.
But that's when you get to my level, James, of punning. It's just another day,
Oh,
bro.
wow.
I roll out of bed.
Wow.
This is just another day for me. So,
I don't like where we are currently.
No, let's
I
move
regret
on.
doing
Let's
that.
move on.
yeah. So, hey, listen, next race.
Azerbaijan, another street circuit. So similar in some ways to Monaco in that it is a street circuit. It is a lot faster than Monaco. There's been some titanic results and titanic battles there. We had the Red Bulls coming together at one season. We had Bottas picking up a puncture while in the lead. We had Alonso being taken out on the first lap, but making it back to the pits. Sorry, I think he was on turn 2 or turn 3. He drove all the way around the circuit on 2 wheels back to the pits, got 2 new wheels, carried on racing. I love Azerbaijan. Not mad about their civil rights record, but still, as a racing circuit, phenomenal.
I'm not here to judge anybody.
I really enjoy the circuit.
Hey, listen, as a South African, we're not perfect with our human rights either. I don't judge anybody. I just want to watch the sport. By the way,
It's probably a good attitude.
Baku, as a Chelsea fan, great memories. Destroyed Arsenal a couple of years ago in a massive European final there.
Okay.
So great stuff. I'm looking forward to Baku. Good memories for me as a football fan. And Azerbaijan, I would imagine, surely night race. It is boiling there.
No, they run during the day.
Oh.
The problem with night races is that it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money to host a Formula One race. It's a lot more money to host a Formula One night race.
Are you going to pay for those
No, wait,
lights?
are
Are
they
you
not-
going to pay them? Are you going to pay?
They've got all
Are
the
you
oil
gonna pay?
on Earth.
No, they don't. They got a lot of the oil on Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's worried about money? Put it at night. It's like 50 degrees already, these guys
You
in
the
these
man
suits.
that wants to see the turtles die on the beach. You the guy.
Oh,
you.
that's plastic. I mean,
Yeah, he doesn't care.
yeah.
It's emissions to burn the energy to burn the lights
I hear you.
for the race.
Well, I mean, if it's 50 degrees during the day, they've got a lot of sunlight. They
That's
could
what I'm
use
saying.
photovoltaics.
I know a guy called Elon Musk, South African guy, good dude,
Not
Pretoria
South
dude.
African. He's American.
Oh, well, I mean, I'm not going to claim. Listen, we have so little. You know what I mean?
Suppose you think Dave Matthews is also South African.
Oh no, I actually write him off. He said some terrible things about South Africa.
Oh, did he?
He can go straight to hell. Oh yeah,
Dave
constantly.
Matthews went to the Saints.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Oh, that explains.
Well,
it.
that's not a good thing. Yeah, you don't want to mention that. Interesting fact: his family owned Douglas Dale Dairy. Not too sure if people know that.
Really.
Yes.
So why is
Yes.
it called? Why is it not called Matthewsdale?
Who's Douglas?
Is
guys?
Douglas his dad?
I don't know the full story, but what you just said is right. Is okay. Whichever one of your kids becomes the most famous, obviously change the family business.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
Oh man,
under
I love
the,
that.
Under the table in milking.
Yeah, very. Hey, you know,
There we go.
Dave Matthewsdale.
he gave you nothing.
Yeah.
Ooh, Dave Matthewsdale. No, too much.
No, yeah, it's too long.
Matthewsdale.
Can you imagine that? I mean, out of your 240 characters, that's like half of them.
We'll
At
probably
Dave Matthewsdale.
pay the printer per letter. That's too much.
Daviesdale has a nice ring to it. Daviesdale.
I don't like
Daviesdale.
alliteration. I'll be honest. I'm not a fan of alliteration.
So what are you
Daviesdale.
thinking? Mattsdale.
No, Matthewsdale. I liked Matthewsdale.
Mattsdale's not bad, actually.
Mattsdale.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Less letters.
Yeah.
There you go. Hashtag Mattsdale.
One T as well. I don't care
Yes.
that Matthew has two. Listen, Matthew, it's a business.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
love you, but stay over there, and your music career hasn't gone too badly.
Eesh.
Gentlemen, Spike, before we go though,
Yeah.
just want to say, I see you guys try to just sneak by the Verstappen thing. By the way, that was the fastest Monaco race in history, average race speed, by the way, for those that didn't see it. Max Verstappen yesterday. So yeah,
That's the
That's
boy.
the average. That's the average speed.
average speed.
Yeah,
Oh, no,
so
not
that's
yeah.
the whole field.
Yeah.
And also
No.
Hamilton-
His race was
Oh,
the
his-
fastest by an
oh, okay.
individual average speed.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
Also,
Verstappen. I see
that's
you
my
guys.
boy.
Because you guys hate Verstappen.
But Hamilton also got the fastest lap. So
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
All time.
yeah, of the overall lap record is Hamilton's. That's the only point. That's the extra point he got for yesterday. Was he did a late stop onto some new tires, got himself a point,
Oh,
See,
which
you
might
pre-
count in the end. I mean, Kimi Räikkönen won by 1 point
it's true.
in 2007. So
It's true. Especially if Verstappen and like you're saying, if Perez is also going to pitch up, Red Bull are going nowhere.
Yeah.
So 1 point could be everything.
yeah.
Shout out Lewis.
Yeah.
Shout out Lewis. Anything else you got to say?
Yeah, so I know we started off the season by you saying that you were convinced that by the end of the season you would have yourself a Verstappen race suit.
I just want to correct you. I'm not convinced. It's going to happen
Well, you know,
with the helmet as well.
I think you can probably help yourself in that regard
Oof.
because
I like where this is going.
I don't.
he's got an official signed, worn race suit from Max Verstappen up for auction.
He does.
Yeah.
How
Well,
much?
it's his race suit.
That's probably going for at least like 50K.
How much? How much?
Well, it's the good news is on an auction.
Oh, that's...
So you've got until May 26th at 11:30 South Africa time to make your bid.
James,
Currently,
yeah.
£8,000.
Oh my God, James, you went to these yuppie schools. Don't you know any trust fund kids that are sitting at home want to buy me a suit? You went to the yuppie school here in the northern suburbs. Surely one of your trust fund friends are sitting around
Bruh.
spending their dad's money.
Bruh, how do rich people stay rich? They don't just give away their money.
Yeah, but don't worry about that. I'll talk to them, but just get in touch with them.
Look,
say, hey, somebody needs £15,000 by the time it's 26.
Well, look, I mean, I did look at this price this morning, and it still said current bid $799.
Okay, so
And it also, worryingly, it says reserve not met. So there's probably a pretty hefty reserve on this thing, especially, I find the timing of this quite amazing because now that he's won Monaco, now it's up for auction.
What does reserve not met mean?
So
Sorry.
the people selling it saying, it's going up for auction, but we want at least
Yeah.
£15,000.
that's what I'm saying. I'm going to need probably
Yeah.
£29,000. James, talk to your yuppie
Yeah, I mean,
friends.
at the moment, it's 160,000 Rand.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so, I mean, what do you reckon?
250,000 it'll end at, somewhere there.
So you reckon,
$250,000, 20, sort of 22.
£20,000 would be, is 400,000 Rand.
Yeah, so okay, so already...
So £15,000, 300,000 Rand.
No, so more than that. It'll end £23,000. For sure. Especially, like you say, this weekend.
450,000 Rand.
Because they've probably just stopped the race recap, blah, blah, blah. The marketing team's probably busy with other stuff. Next week, they'll start marketing 2 days time. They'll start marketing tomorrow, give it a big push. Branson will probably wake up from his slumber from the weekend.
Yeah, Branson's got enough F1 memorabilia. He doesn't need more.
Yeah, or that type.
Yeah.
You know, like him, Shuttleworth.
Yeah.
Musk probably.
I find the timing of it really suspicious, for want of a better phrase, because it is a suit from 2017. So they've had it on the shelf
You know
for 4 years.
You know who should get it?
Yeah.
Kim Jong-un. If
He won't fit into it.
No, just have it. Though.
Oh, right.
Yeah, have it like just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just have it. That's the right guy to have it.
Why?
He deserves it. Why not? Like the world's getting slightly boring now. Everybody wants us to be the same. Kim Jong, get yourself a Red Bull suit, dude. How cool is that? Kim Jong-un.
I mean, look, if while you're asking James for money, maybe you should really think about asking for some proper money.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Because at the British Grand Prix later this year, Lewis Hamilton's winning car from the Turkish Grand Prix, the MP4 25A, that's going up for auction. And they reckon estimates between $5 and $7 million.
Yeah, probably 3 or 4 of your friends there, James. I mean, like you said, rich people don't just give it away. Maybe have a word with 3.
No, but look, at least then, if they're giving you the money, they get to own a car.
This is true.
Yeah.
By the way,
I don't know what the shipping terms and conditions are, but
yeah, that's
Oof.
I just
And
want to.
insurance and
Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. I need. By the way, sorry, I got to speak on the suit thing again. Probably bump it up another £5,000-6,000. Let's call it £35,000. I need the helmet.
helmet's not part of the deal.
Well, that's why I got to. Hey, by the way,
No.
Max, while we're having the conversation, you know what I mean? It's like one of those things. While we're at it, Max,
just checking the helmet. Yeah. Might as well.
And here's 10,000 while we're at it. Let's
Yeah.
not negotiate the price.
No.
I got to go.
No, you're being silly. You can save a lot of money in this exercise.
Mhm.
Just get a normal racing helmet.
This
Yeah,
is
this
Take
is
it
the
to another
problem.
spray paint, dude.
Unbelievable. All right,
No, you
James,
can't-
give me the
can't-
outro music.
can't.
Give me all of the outro music. I mean, you know, it's Instagram life though. It's how it looks and not what it actually is. James, not your fault, dude. You're a victim in this situation because you're a good dude, and I know your head was in the right place there. But take that thought. Remember the guys I told you that want to get rid of Monaco? They must go to hell. You mustn't go to hell, but that thought, send it straight to hell.
Listen,
One way delivery.
Do we have a minute?
Yes,
I've just read a very interesting headline.
we have every minute.
Okay, so at the beginning of this,
Let's kill the music. James.
running up to, sorry, I'll get through this.
That
very
was a
quickly.
false charge.
Running up to the this past week, running up to the Monaco Grand Prix, there was some talk about the flexible rear wings run on some of the cars, which some of the teams are saying against regulation. So Mercedes, for example, McLaren, they're saying the wings that Red Bull is running, that Ferrari are running, they're against the regulation because they flex too much under load, and that gives them an advantage because of the aerodynamics that they help with. The FIA came out and said, well, we'll adjust the regulations. We'll get everyone till the French Grand Prix to fix their wings, which is fair because you can't just like produce parts overnight. You need to re-engineer those parts. People are not happy, and I've just read a headline that says Mercedes warns F1 flexi wing saga. In other words, the delay for the French Grand Prix could lead to a protest in Baku.
And fair enough, because, hey, if we stuck to the rules, I hear what they're saying here, and they are completely justified to go, excuse me, we'd like at least half their points back or whatever, because we stuck to the rules. Everyone knows the rules. We don't want to hear it. And Formula One is such a rule sport.
The thing is, though, the test for the wing is a static test.
Okay.
So when the FIA stewards test the wings, the car is not running. The car is standing still, and the wing is allowed to flex within a certain parameter. And I'm not sure how they measure it, but the wing is allowed to flex. So what the teams who are running the flexible wings are saying, well, it passes the test. It's legal. But when it gets to a certain point and there's more downforce being passed over the wing, it flexes more. And that gives it a straight line speed advantage. And the other teams are going, well, our wings don't do that, and we want the regulations redone because... So it's a little bit of a grey area. But the teams are definitely unhappy about it, and the FIA is addressing it.
Well, the FIA, they're in trouble here because they're like, oh, man, we didn't think of the rules all the way through. So they can't actually...
Loopholes, man. They're loopholes. Every team, all the time, every loophole they can take, they will take.
The great American saying, if you're not cheating, you're not trying hard enough. If you're not cheating.
Anyway, that was my last minute segment.
Hey, that is a good one. And I'm going to keep an eye on that because I know, listen, this is what the nerds live for. These super smart guys I got in the back.
Yeah.
Every rule, they're probably thinking. Oh,
but this is the thing about Formula One.
Yes.
You know? These are the things you have to consider every single time. It's not like football players run onto the field with illegal boots or boots that are marginally legal or marginally illegal.
Yeah.
You know?
No, they're nerds. This is what nerds will do, by the way, is, you know what? I can't bench press as much as you can, but guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to build a robot that can bench press 800,000 times what you can. And this is what they do, right? Is being smart. They're going to push the boundary, and the FIA... they are up against it. There's like 100 nerds just going, we want you to change it because we're going to break it again. And actually, we're going to tell you, and you don't know, you won't even know because you're so stupid. This is what smart people do. And my God, am I here for it? I love it. I'm looking. Oh, hey, Spike, we'll chat next time after Baku to hear how that unfolds.
2 weeks' time, the 6th of June.
Spike, great having you. Jimbo, great having you. Paul, good, big producing, big just being a show guy today. On your part.
Well, the producing wasn't exactly top quality.
No, hey, you're just on the fly. Nothing is perfect in life. Everybody who thinks there's perfection out there, you are fooling yourself. James, what did you do? You didn't panic. Nimble, like Jack. Stay nimble. You were quick. I love it. I love how you're on the move. You're moving, you're grooving. You're young. The beard's great. The flow's great. Looks like you got the conditioner right this week. Huh? Again. Oh, you're kidding me. Oh, I wanted to end on a positive for James. I'll end on a positive for me. I've had a great morning. Worked out at the gym. Great to have Spike here. Great to have James here. Great to have Karabo here. It was a great Monday show. And Formula One, real thing. Monaco, magnificent. I loved it. And by the way, big news. If you didn't hear it, I got Netflix. The first thing I'm going to do in honor of this segment, I'm going to watch Drive to Survive.
Do it.
Drive to Survive.
Seasons 1, 2, and 3.
You have to watch from the beginning.
How many episodes?
Each season, I'm not actually sure. I think it's 24.
No, it's not that many. It's like 8 or 10.
Oh no, yeah,
8 or 10. And how long is an episode?
Hour.
I can surely get through season 1. There's no football's finished now.
Just stock up on the coffee and do it in a day.
Dude, it's totally worth
Single origin, of course.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Just put it on.
Yeah.
Get
Single origin coffee.
Well, you can put that on too.
Just do me a favor. Don't watch Drive to Survive like you watch actual F1 races. You got to sit down and watch the whole thing.
No, you can't have it in the background and then
while
you're doing
other
things.
No.
Meeting,
No. I love
dedicated watching time.
Documentaries. This guy, all in, especially sport. Get out of
It's
here.
good
High
stuff.
performance. I'm in.
You'll meet Gunther.
I love it. Looking forward to it. All right. Well, I've had a good day. James, mediocre. The conditioning not going so well, but still a good dude, good producer, good guy to have here. And this is the MKT Show for today, ladies and gentlemen. From myself, Spike, James, the Cliff Central team, Cliff Central Sport. We are the hell out of here.